We're going live
we're
at some point.
And here we are, back at it again. Hello, everybody.
Let's
Setting
see.
back
Can
on.
you see my magical hands?
Hands are moving pretty normally. So I think we are running
Can
good.
you see us? How
Are we gonna rave? Like
We're gonna rave. That's how we're gonna do. Third time is the charm, folks. Here we go. If you hadn't seen it, we had signed on. This is our third attempt getting this stream to move on. So thank you all so much for your patience, for jumping back into the stream. We greatly appreciate it. And we've had quite a bit of dilly-dally. You know who all these people are. It is time to get this game started. What do we all think? Ready to play some D&D?
I would love to
I
do
mean,
that.
Woo!
I could go for some D&D.
That's gonna be a good idea
in
right
this
now.
economy?
Yes.
I think we can afford to splurge a little.
Can afford D&D
afford
for
some
one
D&D.
night. Yeah.
We have to ration care.
Last, where we
Okay.
had left off, our heroes were in the middle of pitched combat between Ulkman, the cursed Kraken priest, residing within the belly of said Kraken
He's mean.
He was brutal, grabbing people left and right, pulling them closer, the psychic energy dispersing. It was a nightmare. Deo went down. It was bad.
God, did he?
And with all of our heroes' efforts and focusing onto Ulkman, the last final blow of Vesi, inflicting these wounds onto Ulkman, giving him the solace of peace that he had so desperately desired for. After that, our heroes were then able to heal the wound that was created inside of Erixmes, and in the process of doing so, yanking out a splinter, nearly getting pulled into the current, and eventually,
It was necessary.
it was
No, I
necessary.
wasted-
Absolutely necessary.
Wasted my wild shapes. Could not turn into an animal that could swim.
Exactly.
An ice block of milk.
An ice block of milk needed for
It
the
went
rescue.
super well.
Yeah.
Oh well. And thus our heroes resurfaced back out of the Kraken, made their way out of the lighthouse and back into the town, resting on the Kraken's back. Upon learning so, they had then messaged Tior's Stormmane, their patron, I suppose. This would be a good word to describe,
In
even
a
though that
way.
word's kind of used for warlocks and things of that nature. But
Spawns.
brought them on for this grand adventure, his last adventure, in the aid of these new heroes. Thus, messaged out to him. Several days passes for him to get back. Our heroes mingled, learned more about each other. Solstice searching for something lost. Mimi connecting with Karametra. Vesi swimming with the Kraken. Epixie writing every single note and detail down. And Deo, I believe, and I don't know, I believe seems might have been the first time Deo has used his medallion for divination, and it spoke directly with Iros himself. And with that,
Fangirl.
we jump back in to our adventure. On the third day, as described, you see a boat, a familiar boat, approaching the island. As coming forward more and more, you see this boat docking itself at the marble docks, getting everything situated. You see Tior starts to make his way up towards down the sort of occluded steps, and looks at all of you. He says, "What? I had thought that with such sinking of you were inside an island that was a crack. How did any and all of this occurred? when I had saw it, I was repairing the boat to the best of my ability, and a gigantic... The island had sank in waves and pushed me far away. I thank the seas of Thassa that the ship and myself did not sink. But I see that all of you are well and good, and... what had happened? What occurred?
Well, all of the
So-
things that you said.
Also, the island is the Kraken. I've lovingly named him Henry.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
What's the real name?
was it?
Erexmes?
A
But that's
magic.
like a long...
Yeah.
Erexmes, but that's like a long name, so like I like Henry.
Yes. Yeah, and it had a thorn
Like
inside,
bricks.
and I pulled it out.
It was super gross.
Yeah, it was really gross.
Also, we
We
saw
totally
someone.
didn't only.
There was also someone inside the Kraken. It was a.
Yeah, he was
It's
like a
crazy.
weird barnacle
It was a-
zombie guy. He stabbed us a lot.
Yeah, he
And
almost
he's gone
killed.
now.
He almost killed Deo. So it was. I guess
My hole closed up. It's fine.
if yeah, and we almost drowned too. Lots of stuff happened when you were gone.
But it's all good now because we're above the water.
You just see Tior just starts cracking up. He just says, I tell you, I miss these days. Oh, boy. Well,
This
I'm glad that all of you are safe. That sounds quite the rousing expedition. Well, come aboard. I'm sure you all need food and proper beds. Come, and he sort of rallies all of you.
I'm gonna lean over to Mimi while we're walking up. He took that way better than I thought he was gonna.
I mean, people who've adventured for long times, like they kind of develop an interesting sense of humor.
So badass.
I mean,
While
he
you're
is
doing
very
that.
badass.
Whoa.
While
Uh,
you're doing that, Vesi's gonna pull a pixie aside and be like, "If your milk cake is still on the boat, don't drink from it.
I'm gonna also
Fine.
go.
Maybe curdled."
I'm gonna go next to
Cottage
Vesi
cheese.
and go over and say, but if it's still on the boat, we can still use it to shape things. It'll be quite fun. We know
Yeah,
that it's cool.
we should
You can
make
still use
ice
it for
sculptures.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so
gonna
if
smell
it's-
so bad.
Y'all are so damn nasty.
No, because since now it's partly solid, then partially, then we can make some really cool sculptures, and maybe you can draw them.
I link arms with you, and I'm all set and ready. Like, let's go that keg.
Okay.
So you head up as Tior.
Crack one open with the bowl.
As Tior sort of gets all of you on board and then sort of unlashes the dock or the what is that thing? It's not a ladder or like
The
steps.
gangplank.
The gangplank. He brings back the gangplank. Thank you.
Whoa.
And
I don't know how I know that. But...
It's awesome.
bringing it back in, getting the ship away. He sort of looks at the island and he says, I never thought I'd see the day of one of Rixmes, the island kraken itself. My goodness. Well, let's go away before he decides to submerge again.
Thank you for letting us live inside of you for a little bit.
I'll kind of to Vesi be like, did you want to say goodbye? You guys seem to have become familiar at least.
She's gonna like start like pulling some of her stuff off and just start handing it to you, and she's just gonna like plop into the water
Oh,
You're gone for
I
a couple
meant
of
wave.
and just like comes crawling back up about 10 minutes later. It's like, all right, we're good.
It's like you're saying bye to a continent.
Setting sail, and Tior sort of gets everything situated and gets the ship sailing out into the Siren Sea again. From there, Tior looks to all of you and he says, well, that was quite the detour, to say the least. But
Yeah.
it's time for us to rally back and back into the task at hand, which is we need to make one of our stops. I had mentioned.
Wait, yeah. Are the other people okay? Like our other boat people?
I had signaled to them some time ago, a couple of days ago, as I was trying to find all of you. They are quite well.
Okay.
They too were behest with a sea serpent, much like we were. But looking back, they have apparently arrived on an island that is inhabited entirely of pigs. And so hopefully I will hear back from them on what their sort of determination is on that. But right now,
Did you talk to Thassos at all?
I mainly spoke with Hellas. She's the one who
okay.
has the sending stone that we are using.
I didn't know if she just had you on speaker or something where everyone could talk to you.
Well, to my knowledge, I don't believe it works quite like that. She had informed that everyone is well and safe and good, but to their precise well-being, no specific updates.
Is the soldiers okay?
Hey, you mean Azora?
I think so. Not sure.
Well,
never mind. It,
Or the one with the two tails?
the one with the muscles.
oh yes,
that's
Thassos.
Thassos.
Yeah, that's
That's-
Thassos.
Oh, all right, good.
To my knowledge,
kind of like-
he is.
I kind of elbow Epixie. Good.
Epixie wasn't like standing super sturdy, so when you like jokingly elbow her, she stumbles a little bit.
Well, as I had mentioned, we had discussed several places that we could stop to at first to get more information as to where we need to go next in order to find this island. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we all agreed to visit Kloyths, a rather dense jungle island, which one of its main inhabitants is a primordial ancient dragon turtle of the same name that resides there. Are we still in agreement of that, or are we?
Yeah.
Pig Island sounds cool,
Yeah.
but so does the dragon turtle.
I see. Very well.
No, Pig Island is nothing compared to Dragon Turtle Island.
I'm sorry, I just thought it sounded cool.
Look, it does
Deo.
sound cool, just by comparison. It's a dragon
Hey.
turtle as opposed, like. Hey, yeah, actually, hey, Pixie, would you rather fight a dragon turtle or like an island just full of pigs?
Well,
How big are the pigs?
Yeah, how big are the pigs?
well, I'm not too sure on the
And
size of the
if
pig.
it's a town of pigs, maybe they're like very civilized and friendly, and we
Hey.
won't have to fight them.
I
Well,
believe
but
it's-
like if you were faced with one or the other as like a potential threat.
Well, again, we gotta situate the size of all the creatures, so like, let's sit down and discuss this. I'm gonna pull out some like scroll paper and roll it out and start like writing pros
Right.
and cons and details.
Right.
All right, so to
The-
start, do you think you can handle one
Well-
pig in hand-to-hand combat? And they just
Okay.
start talking.
Yeah.
All right, so as so
Mathematically.
you see Tior looks at Mimi, Solstice, and Vesi, turns and he just says, "Well, so let me clarify, and hopefully once they get caught up to speed, we're not going to be fighting Kloyths. Kloyths is a rather old friend of mine, whom I've made an acquaintance with some time ago. But what we are heading to Kloyths for is upon her back. There is a small temple that is dedicated to Kloyths. That temple will allow us a glimpse into the future. And so that is our main goal in heading to this temple, more precisely. But obviously, of course, be an opportunity, or at least for me, to catch up with Leotha to see how she has resided these years.
Well, I think it's always good to. If you have someone important to you, then you should definitely find them again. So.
Gonna lean on Deo's back and like put all of her weight onto this teenage child, and just be like, "Did you hear that? We're not fighting the turtle. If you throw a knife at anything on the turtle,
Yeah,
That's a
I've got
pig.
ears.
And that's the dragon turtle. And so far, it's just a doodle of Epixie,
Yes.
the pig, and the dragon turtle with arrows saying me. Pig.
Deo, beside his little
Pig.
doodle, it says XII pig. That's his
can end this
baseline.
argument very easily for you, and why it's better to fight a bunch of pigs, because afterwards you have a lot of bacon, okay? You don't get bacon out of a dragon turtle without fighting the
God,
dragon
I
turtle.
would love.
Maybe we can go to both places.
As all
Yeah.
of this is happening, may I go to the stairs, the stairs behind the place where
Leads into the bottom deck.
Yeah, like just kind of in the staircase. May I prepare a spell?
Absolutely. What spell would you like to
Okay.
prepare?
Water breathing.
Ooh.
Cool. Thank you.
So, you see as Tior, presumably Epixie and Deo continue their debate, but you see Tior looks to all of you and he says, "Well, we have quite a bit of time to get to us. Hopefully, we should get there in about 2 days' time. So ideally, should be all set and good to go. Any questions before we arrive to Leotha?"
I believe I'm good.
How big is the island in comparison to the dragon turtle?
Yeah.
Well, the island itself is actually not quite as big as Leotha. Leotha's, well, hard to say. So, the island is...
I meant the one with the pigs on it. Like, are we talking population density?
I see. I don't know the answer to that
Into
question.
the pig island.
Perhaps when I speak with Hellas later on this evening, I will inquire on the size of the pigs on the pig island.
Look,
I'll
let's
lean over to
just-
a
let's
pixie.
just-
Shelf that for now.
Yeah, I'll just do a line for the floor right now, and we can expand or reduce when we have more information.
Awesome.
To give you an idea of how big Leotha is, imagine her bottom tooth or her bottom jaw is about as big as this ship.
Oh, I pull out like a little smudge eraser.
Whoa.
I drew her way too small. Hold on.
Might need a second like sheet of paper.
Yeah,
She's
hold
gonna lean
on.
over to Meepy and just be like, "This is why no one else is sleeping at the bottom deck."
And with that, we are going to run again into a little period of downtime. With that, you guys have a couple of days. So I will ask all of you, 2 days precisely, not just a couple, 2, but I will ask each of you. Will have a moment of downtime. Who would like to go first? Sounds like Solstice is going first.
Yes, with the yeah.
He who makes
Not-
the noise.
Not tentative at all. Solstice is gonna I don't know if I don't believe I have carving tool, but I think I do have a dagger. I'd like to start carving little trinkets from the sea serpent's tooth that I pulled from its jaw.
Absolutely.
And I would like to carve 5 willow trees, if possible. I don't know how long that'll take.
I think if you spend the majority of your downtime in the next course of these 2 days carving, then I think you'd be able to get all of them done within that time.
Will it take up the entire fang, or will I have any left over?
Tell you what, go ahead and roll me. We're just going to say a dexterity check, and this will determine how much of the tooth is left. And this is basically just based off of trial and error on your part of like carving it and then seeing like maybe I should redo this and stuff like that. So
Cool.
you'll be able to get all of your trinkets, but this will just determine how much of the tooth is left.
Excellent. All right. That is an 11.
So I would say you probably have. So, how big did we say what the tooth was before?
It was like
5 feet tall.
5 feet. Yeah,
It was
it was
5
pretty
feet.
big.
It was a big tooth. So we'll say that you have about we'll say that you have a foot left essentially. So
Is
you've
that
been
enough for my little idea?
yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. I will do that for a different time then. So I'd like to make the trinkets. I also have a gift for Epixie. If Epixie would like a gift.
Pixie would.
All right. During the course of the days, I go to Epixie. Epixie.
Hey.
I know that you well, it seems like you like Thassos. It's okay if you're a little embarrassed. But I know that you've been a little worried about him, and I thought that maybe you'd like to possibly see him,
Oh.
even though he's not here. I could cast a spell, and maybe you could see if he's okay, if he's all right.
Oh, yeah, that's
If you-
really nice of you. I don't
if
want you
you'd
to
like-
waste a spell or anything on me, though.
It's okay. It's all right.
She starts to get a little sweaty. I mean, I don't even know what I would say or anything. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you could say anything. I think it would just be to see if he's okay.
Oh, so
Sure.
okay. And she calms down a little bit. It's just looking at him. That's fine.
um,
I just think he's
Alright.
neat.
I'm going to scry
Ooh.
upon
Oh,
Thassos.
this is peak sneaking behavior.
We sneaking, baby.
I don't know if I suppose. Okay, so scrying, I believe.
You're familiar
Is
with
it
them.
just? Yeah. Wonderful.
I know this man.
I know
there-
this man.
There
Have
is
you
the
seen
thing of,
this man?
Where do I know this man?
He has to
Um,
decide to fail it.
So I'll
The
looking at the thing of scrying.
oh no, it's a self spell.
Well,
Ah.
yeah. So only
Just describe him to me real good.
I just like the image of Solstice just putting her hands on Epixie's face and then just
Am I able to do that?
so
See him?
so based off of scrying, it
Tried
would be
so
just for yourself. But you can
Okay.
describe to Epixie how Thassos is doing. I
Give
will
me every
s-
detail.
I will say.
Use your adjectives.
We'll say, just for the sake of ease, because I don't want him to make a wisdom save and potentially go against it. We'll just say that in this connection of you scrying, it clicks into Thassos' mind that it's like, oh, this is Solstice checking in for some reason. He's deciding not questioning it because he trusts all of you. And so.
You want to see if he's still hot?
As if something has changed
And
drastically
it's
in like
just
a
like
few days.
seeing what
He's
it's just
grown
seeing
a
what someone
beard.
it's
So-
just seeing what someone is doing.
Oh,
I can't
no.
talk or anything. I believe.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
So absolutely. Do you do this on day 1 or day 2?
I do this on day 1.
Cool. So on day 1, as you scry into that, you can see as it zooms in on, and you click in your mind, you're like, arcane wise, like, this is Thassos I'm looking at. And what you see before you is a pig. And that pig appears to be like gnawing at the ankle of this robed woman who has like magic casting around her. And you see that there's another pig that's like rolling around with like 2 different tails. And you see both Hellas and Rode who are slinging spells back and forth at this central spellcaster.
Oh,
Um,
he didn't grow a
Solstice, does he
beard.
have his shirt off or what?
Technically,
You guys ever hear about Cersei?
technically,
Thought you was a
he
man.
does have his shirt off.
Technically.
Yes, he's very quite unrobed.
Oh.
Although he is not himself, he is a pig. I'm
What?
really sorry. I think
What? This
So you
isn't
don't-
funny, Solstice.
No,
just
it's not.
We
I'm
were
not-
talking about that earlier.
no, Epixie. I'm sorry. It's not. He's not a pig. It's just he's a pig. He's literally like actually a pig. You know, I think that the island there is a woman there who seems to be magical. I think
An evil
There's another-
sorceress has taken
there's-
him.
there's another pig with 2 tails.
What?
I mean, I suppose he could be attractive as a pig to the right. I'm not sure.
I'm not a pig, though.
No, I didn't mean that you were a pig. I'm trying to make you feel better because your sweetheart is a pig right now, and I'm sorry. This is not how. This is
can
not how
work
I
with
wanted
this.
this to go.
No,
It's
keep going.
okay.
You're doing great.
It's okay. This is great for the plot. Oh,
What?
it's fine. And I shuffle off and I start writing like, the
Super
evil
loud.
sorceress, and the cute satyr girl has to go fight the sorceress that turned her
Okay.
love into a pig.
I keep scrying.
Tale as old as time.
you keep scrying.
We all
and-
have them.
Do I?
all
Do
do
I?
In the course of the 10 minutes that you can maintain concentration on this, you just see this fight brawl out until eventually Hellas and Rode have this sorceress in like sort of like a bind of some kind. And she eventually, you just see her sort of like the sorcerer sort of like flick her wrist, and this like purplish green magic swirls around the 2 pigs, and Thassos and Azora like regain their form. And you just see them like. Can you hear anything while they're scrying?
I think you can hear.
You can hear through the sensors as if you were there. You just see Thassos as he goes, that was. I don't know how I feel about that, because I mean, like, I've eaten pigs before, and I was turned into one. I don't think I'm ever going to eat a pig again. Let me tell you, that was quite the experience. And you just see Azora as he goes, yeah, this is. we gotta go. We need to leave this island
Gotta go."
immediately. And you see Hellas as, looks over to the sorceress and just says, "Now, Fi, are you quite finished?" And you see the sorceress, and she just looks and she goes, "Fine, you can all leave. I just wanted some more company is all."
We got a
and they
lot of
sort of
lonely
just
people here.
let her go. And
Does she look familiar to me?
That song Eleanor Rigby is
she
about.
does not look familiar.
Look at all the
Good.
lonely people.
That was scary for a second. Does she
but
see me? Does she know I'm there?
they're all. Thassos is the only one who's looking. So as that crew is sort of leaving, you just see
Cool.
Thassos just says, "Oh, hey, peeps, we the other boat, they're checking in on us. I'm pretty sure. Solstice, she's looking at. I think she's looking at me and looking at us, like right now.
FaceTime's been on the whole call.
You see Hellas sort of just turns and looks and just says, well, and she's sort of like, she doesn't quite know where to look, and she says, Solstice, if you're scrying, we're all right. We're heading back to the boats and heading to Sithos.
Okay. I pop away.
Let's unpack.
Epixie, everything's okay. Epixie, it's okay.
But hold on, let me finish this thought.
No, you don't have to finish that thought. You can cut it off.
Satyr swoons as the handsome man turned back into a handsome man. What?
Your Thassos is okay. They defeated this sorceress who was turning them into pigs. Thassos is perfectly fine.
That is excellent news.
I just wanted you to know that. I know this
Thank
gift
you.
didn't really go as planned. I thought you'd be able to come along for the ride.
I put my hand on your hand and I say, you have given me the gift of inspiration for my work. That is irreplaceable and priceless. No apologies necessary.
Oh, honey.
I walk away.
and with that, I think,
Epixie experienced every human emotion. Those 5 minutes.
truly. So, who would like to go next for their downtime?
So for day 1,
Yes,
I
Vixen.
spend
Maddie's
the
not coming
remainder
away.
of my day touching up the story that I'm writing. That is a very preteen fanfic ripoff of Beauty and the Beast, but it's about a handsome soldier who gets turned into a pig and a little satyr girl who isn't Epixie but looks just like Epixie,
Right.
saving him with true love's kiss.
Nice. Checks out.
And then day 2, I'm gonna go back over to Deo with my schematic drawing,
Oh.
and I've included pig drawings of all the other members of the second party that are out there now. And she just goes, based on Solstice's findings, I don't think we should fight any of the pigs.
What?
I hold up my drawing. I hold up my drawing. Imagine there's more pigs throughout. So
Why's that one got 2 tails?
they got turned into pigs by the evil sorceress, and then they fought the sorceress, and then they're on their way to the next island now. I don't think we should fight the pigs
That's
because
like
they're
a cool-
people.
That's like a cool book, but like what actually happened?
That is what actually happened. I grab your hand and I pull you over to where Solstice is. Explain the whole pig thing!
The what?
Just listen!
No.
They were turned into pigs.
Like, for
And
real?
then
Yeah. They went to this island, and then they saw this woman turned into pigs, and then they turned into pigs, but then they fought the woman, and then the woman said, okay, I'll fix my wrist, and now you're not pigs anymore, and then they weren't pigs anymore, and then they said they were fine, and now they're back.
Oh it's not a story.
They also said they were going to...
Oh. Okay.
I forget.
Sithos. It's one of the other islands Tior had said that you guys could go to.
Well, hot
They were going
damn. Glad we didn't go to
Sithos.
Pig Island.
I'm gonna go back to bed now.
Okay.
I was...
Oh yeah, sorry. And I pull the
I didn't
covers
mean
back
to
up
come
over.
here.
I pat your head and I pull the covers up. Thank you.
You're welcome. I kind of like try to pat your head, but it just goes up onto your face. I'm like, yeah.
Oh, we're continuing the
happens.
theme of people patting my characters' faces.
Yes, of course.
Aren't you sleeping in the crow's nest though? Does that mean that Epixie
Yeah, he climbed up to the
Yeah.
crow's nest in
We were
order
doing
to
like a sleepover downstairs, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "No, come here!" Pulling up the
pull
mast.
up the mast.
It's one of those things where it's like, wait, I could stop this at any moment, but I
Any
want to see
moment.
where it's going.
Well,
Well, you know what? You've climbed the whole way.
anything else that Epixie would like to do?
I think for the most part, that's it. Yeah. She's not doing anything crazy, but damn, is that story getting written so well.
Is that story getting written
She
so well?
It is
spends like
rich.
all of her free time on it. You guys have not seen her this focused the entire trip so far.
Rock and roll. Mimi, Vesi, or Deo? Who would like to go next?
One of them, because I'll be right back. Sick girlfriends.
I'm eating a sandwich. Ty, you gotta go.
Okay, well then I'll start with the part that doesn't involve Deo. Probably through a chunk of day one when Solstice isn't scrying pigs. She's gonna be sitting, like she's gonna pull out a little notebook that she carries around all the time and basically just has a bunch of like notes of places. And it's just gonna be like, I know on the island I don't think you found anything, and it's added to the list of places that you not found anything. Running
Oh,
out
are
the
you-
places, which means we
are
got to
you-
find it at some point. Yeah, to
Are you
you,
talking
like
is...
basically talking
Oh,
about.
okay, cool.
She's got like a little notebook of all the places that you've been and that they've been together, where there's been nothing that she keeps like, no, like crossing the names out.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just losing hope that I'll ever find it.
No, we'll find it. Sure. And I know that you don't like when I say that you don't need it, because technically you do to go back home, but also like I'll give you a name if we don't find it.
I'd like that.
Like I'll name you, so it won't be Henry. It'll be a good name.
Thank you, Vesi. I appreciate it.
If I like really need to get like extra help, we could always get my brothers to join, but just like two big meatheads, they're not very smart, you know? So like they may not actually help.
I don't want too many people to know about this. It's a little embarrassing.
I don't think it's embarrassing. It's just it's a part of you. Obviously, if you don't want to share it, we don't tell people. But like, it's something with you, and it's not like you made the choice to do it. So like, it's not really embarrassing. Like, it's not like you were like in high school and like, you know, burped in front of the class really loud or something like that. Like, this is just like a normal thing.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's correct. I mean, a name is different than burp, I suppose.
Name is very different than flatulence. Yes.
I thank you for helping me find it. Or if you ever see the will-o-wisp, just let me know before going to it.
I'll tell you instead of for one time, I will speak before acting.
Thank you.
She's only got one in her.
Yeah.
Only one.
Take
We're
it
saving it for
count.
one day. Yeah.
I
that's basically
rest my head on your shoulder. Rest your head on my shoulder.
Baby.
Rockin'. Then, was there something else Vesi wanted to get up to?
Yeah, well, because we kind of talked about it last time, and then I didn't make us actually do it, but I really just want to see what would happen. She's gonna go to Deo on day 2 and be like, "All right, it's time to continue with this sparring. This time we're gonna do hands only," and she's gonna start just, like, trying to hit you. Yeah.
I'm gonna start trying to block you. What?
I was hoping last time when I said that we fought each day that we'd get to roll initiative against each other.
Hell yeah. It's healthy combat, baby.
Healthy combat.
So they have to get it out. But yeah, but no, that her second day is going to be spent training.
Tell
Damn.
you tell
Okay.
you what, why don't both of you go ahead and we'll just do one roll for this. Why don't we just use just a regular d20 roll and you're just going to each add your proficiency. So which I guess is null and void if it's the same proficiency. So I guess it's basically just a contested d20
Okay.
check.
I don't actually know what my proficiency is.
4
I mean, both of ours should 4. That's a lot.
proficiency bonus, right? Or
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm looking for where that is on my 4. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was looking at initiative bonus. Silly me. So it wouldn't matter anyway. That was almost good.
almost
Oh.
famous last words.
Yeah.
So, who got what?
3.
3. Vesi?
Yeah.
21.
Wait, you're adding things? Oh, then mine's a 7.
7.
Oh, well.
So
With my modifier.
So I think
It's a 2.
I think for Deo, you learn very quickly that Vesi fights very differently than how probably what Deo might be used to, especially if it's going just straight hand-to-hand combat, because you've only seen Vesi primarily use magic for the most part, and so I think when Vesi starts pulling out actual combat maneuvers, it throws you off more than you anticipated.
Oh yeah, big time. You definitely
It's
kick
like
his
that
butt.
meme. It's like that meme of the surprised hamster just like
Whew. Yeah, that not comfy.
when we're done, she's just gonna like lift you up by like your belt and like sit you back down on the ground, just like
Whoa. What? Why?
it's practice.
What
One day,
are
nothing else,
you?
It's just practice.
Can I, like, after, like,
It's
I'll,
for
like,
you
watch
to
this
learn,
happen,
for you to
and, like,
know.
after they're done fighting, I'll be like, alright, my turn.
Yeah, you fight Vesi.
Vesi, you did say that you were
Vesi,
looking
thank
for a sparring partner.
Kick her
Tank
ass,
me, tank,
Mimi.
let's go.
Ow.
So each
And I'm
of
cool
you,
doing hand to hand.
Yeah.
rock and roll. Each
We-
of you give me
everybody
a
fights each
contested
other.
d20 roll.
Are we doing what was the
I-
modifier on this? Or-
So
We're
it's
sitting on the sideline with
I think it's
pom-poms.
just going to be a contested d20 because I think
Oh,
I
just
originally
a
said use your proficiency, but then I realized you both would have the same proficiency.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. We
So
won't
it just
take-
makes it seem
It's just the same. Yeah.
We just want
Yeah.
cool numbers.
precisely.
I'm betting on my friend Vesi. I like throw a coin.
Oh yeah, I'll put
Okay.
one down for Mimi.
I'll throw a coin to Epixie. 1 gold if Vesi wins.
Deal.
Mimi, show her how we do it back home.
All right, Mimi, what'd you get?
17.
Vesi?
Also got 17.
Ooh, evenly matched.
Whoa.
So a draw was created between Vesi and Mimi over the course of their
Unstoppable
sparring.
force and movable object.
Epixie,
Yeah.
it looks like both of them got the same. Well, looks like they both won. Do you just want to trade gold?
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, here you
Good
go. You
bag.
So to like
Thanks.
they
Thank you.
both just go to grab each other, and then the rest of it is just like an arm wrestle, just like.
Like the really
Yep.
funny thing is like, cause how tall is Vesi?
5'7", and you're much taller.
I'm 6'5", so we grabbed each other, and I'm almost a foot taller than you.
Oh god.
I think you're quicker than me. I'm just a little tankier.
Very true.
Yeah, more than likely. You're definitely tankier, but I don't know if I'm faster or not, actually. But
I only have a 14 in Dex.
Uh,
I got a 21 in
I'm
Strength.
13.
rock and roll. Is there any lines of business that Vesi wants to do during this downtime?
Other than those things, because the first day she spent a lot of time thinking about the places that they haven't been yet, that she thinks they can add to the list. And then the next day was spent, trying to kick people's butt. So
It's a day well spent, really.
Rock and
yeah,
roll.
really.
Mimi or Deo?
I think after like sparring with Vesi that day, like I'm probably gonna go that day and then back, just because like we just talked about that. Like we'll kind of like finally realize we have to call it a draw, and I'll be like, I'm very impressed. I know you said that you didn't have it in you to be a gladiator, but I mean you held up quite well.
I think maybe it's just like I like you. Other people, like, they get my anger going, which means like was a little like I didn't really stop when they told me to.
That's I
So-
mean, I won't act like I didn't pull a few punches.
Just it builds character to just get hit every now and then. It tells you that like you're not invisible.
And she's gonna like invincible, and she's gonna glance at Deo as she's saying that.
I was gonna say that's the one thing I agree with you on. Why'd you have to look at me like that?
I'll like very firmly just like clap
Never mind, I
Betsy
don't
on the
agree
back
with you.
and be like, "Well, good job." I'll say I look forward to sparring again and watching you improve. And I'll kind of go to Deo and be like, "You put up a good fight."
It's her fancy footwork.
Listen, you never wanted to learn to dance, and I told you, it's part of it.
Okay, now I think that you guys are just shitting me. That is not how this works.
You don't think that you've seen your sister, you've seen me. You don't think I have to know what my legs are doing?
Blink, 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 blink.
Whatever.
Yeah, can the rest of us hear this conversation? Because if so, Bessie's gonna take Epixie and start just like dancing with her.
Blink, 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 blink.
Yeah.
Also, dancing is embarrassing, and I don't do that. So
I think it would benefit you. Just I mean, it's up to you. I can't make you do anything. I'm not your mom. But
sound like
you
my
know-
mom sometimes.
well, someone has to. No one's here to watch you.
I'm here to watch me. Now you just sound like Dio.
I mean, we're best friends. We're going to start picking up on each other's mannerisms. It's part of it. But
Can't believe you
I
thought I was 13.
it had been a minute. How old do you think I am? I bend down so he can really look at my face.
48. And I stick 2 fingers up her nose.
Can I try to grab him?
Deo, give me a acrobatics check, and Mimi, give me an athletics check.
Oh yeah.
It's fun to be stupid. What am I doing?
Acrobatics.
Acrobatic, okay.
Or
Okay.
athletics.
Do acrobatics. Okay, I got a 22.
Maybe?
I'm really bad at math. Hang on. 27?
So, as Deo quickly tries to run, Mimi, you catch him right by the ear, as per usual, and he's able to let go.
And I'll kind of pull him back and be like, first of all, I'm 28. Second of all, remember, your actions have consequences. And sometimes the person holding you won't be as kind as I am. And I let him go.
Yeah, because you're not Vesi.
Because you can't catch me.
She's literally evil. I'm telling you.
Here,
One day I am going
like,
to teach
a
you to
very
dance.
witch cackle.
Oh.
The other end of the boat, you just hear like
We're still dancing.
Still dancing.
Look, there's a reason why every time they bring up a thing about a sea witch, she's evil. Literally the worst. Vesi's probably fine, but I'm just saying it's probably for a reason.
I'm dead. Go sit in the corner.
Like the way you said that of a video I watched where they were interviewing older people, and my friend turns to me and goes, "That lady looks like an actual witch."
Some people are probably witches.
Some people, probably.
For the first day though, like it's gonna be just me kind of like polishing my sword and stuff like that. Taking some time with my journal to like try to talk to Karametra, not like conversation like or anything
For
like
sure.
that, but just
Yeah.
If there's a time where everyone's above decks, I'll like take some time with my lute, and just start plucking out a song and hide. So that's it. Deo, I swear to God, I'm gonna beat your ass harder the next day.
Hey Dan, what do I have to roll?
So I will say, Mimi, you can
Next
go ahead
big
and
post.
roll a stealth with advantage.
If there's one person who's not gonna learn anything ever.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it worked the first time, so I don't think you would. Oh no.
Was
With
that a charm?
advantage.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
Advantage?
Okay. The best one was an 11.
11.
Okay.
Deo, go ahead and give me. What's Deo's passive perception?
18.
So I think you hear music coming from somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go find it.
God damn it!
Now go ahead and give me. Go ahead and give me just an investigation, Joe.
I was about to be like, are you
Dig.
gonna have all of them do their passives and see who all catches me?
That is a 20. You said perception?
Yes.
21?
So, eventually, Deo, are you wanting to stealth your way up to Mimi, or do you want to make your presence known?
No, I'm gonna keep stealthing.
So you go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna have the rogue hide from me? Okay, with my 11 passive?
Oh yeah, sure.
God damn it.
Stealth, eh?
Stealth, eh?
Oh, okay. That's a 13.
My passive's 11.
Oh. I forgot. You
So-
just said it and it went.
With a 13, Deo, you start to make your way towards the lower decks, and you hear some music starting to play. And as you walk up, you can see that Mimi, as you've covered yourself, made sure to stealth yourself, and you can see that Mimi is the one who's plucking away at the lute.
Yeah, like before, he's just gonna kind of like settle in his spot, put his head on his hands, and just close his eyes and listen.
As you do that, you feel a hand rest upon your shoulder.
I didn't do that. Or did I?
I'm gonna just. Vesi, I swear to God, if you ruin this right now.
And you just hear behind you says, "Oh, why don't we As you see, Tior tries to get your attention, and he says, "Let's leave her to her business, shall we?"
He's got a very deep voice that would carry. Do I hear that?
Not with the stealth that he rolled, so.
Oh, that's he's a sneaky bitch.
Oh, that
One
little
day, maybe you'll
monster!
learn.
That big
One day,
monster,
maybe you'll
man.
catch on and just be mad.
Frick.
And you just see Tior basically just gesturing to you, Deo, to like take a step back.
I just wanted to listen.
Let's get out of earshot for a second.
He'll step on out.
And as
I wasn't gonna do anything bad, I promise. I just like hearing it.
I know, and it's quite all right. But something that I've been noticing that I do think I should, at the very least, put in some elderly advice. We'll say, if you see one of your friends decides to head towards the deck, and if it looks like they are making a way to not make their presence known as they are walking away, perhaps something private for them to engage in, it may be best to allow them that sense of privacy, even if you do notice them. But I will agree with you. It is lovely music. But if she wanted us to hear it, then she would inform us.
Well, she'd play different if people knew they were watching. I mean, it's kind of her whole thing, right? Like putting on a show when she knows the people are around. It's just kind of nice sometimes if she's normal.
We're very keen.
It's like you can just hear it. Sorry.
It's alright. It does not seem that she had caught on, so just let this between you and I for now. However, in the future, allow one their privacy, should they request it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate the formality. You do not have to call me sir.
It feels wrong not to. I mean, like an old home thing, you know? That's drilled into you.
Yes, I'm quite familiar with the manners of Akron elite. And it is quite polite. But I'm letting you know, you do not have to call me that. You can call me sir. But if you would like, just know that you don't have to if you don't want to.
And it still feels right. I mean, you're the Stormmane. It's still kind of crazy that I'm here in the first place.
Well, it is bountiful of such adventures, and I'm sure that you will meet many more heroes of old in your journey, much as I did in my youth.
Who were your heroes growing up then? Figured you were just like a lone wolf flying.
Yes. There were a few. When I was much younger, say about 7 years of age,
This is when I lived in Oreskses, the plains beyond the Cacheton Mountains. I had heard of a great hero by the name of Calafi. She had ventured out into the Siren Sea, uncharting new and fascinating mystical islands. And for a Leonin such as myself, growing up on the plains, to hear of a land made mostly of ocean and possibilities, it was astonishing to hear about. And when I was 20 years of age, I had a chance to meet one of the crew members on Calliope's ship. She had boasted about of their exploits and all that she had done. But now you can find her stories written within the stars of Nyx, as all great heroes find themselves.
So what do you think about that old saying, like, either let your heroes die or just hope you never meet them? Think there's any merit to that?
Well, I think there comes a time where you find yourselves at a choice. You can either model yourself after someone else, make your entire personality revolve around someone that you respect and admire, and perhaps you do quite a fine job creating almost an ideal replicant of someone. But then you may stop and find a realization that that is not you. And while this person that you have aspired yourself to be may be admirable, respectful, or courageous in some ways, it perhaps may not be true to who you are and how you feel, and your ideals and your ambitions and wants. You'll find a time where you will make that choice. You can follow in the footsteps of others. Many have done before. There are many farmers that have modeled themselves after the first farmer, struck exactly as that. And it's a noble life they lead. But you can define who you are. You can make your own path, your own decisions, and your own wants.
Well, is there a right choice? How do you know what's, meant for you? All the stars or whatever, versus like the person that you want to make for yourself. Like, how would you even know the difference?
I think knowing the difference might be the duty of Kloyths herself, being the god of destiny. But for you and I think that difference is unknown. So,
Figured.
we could stand here worrying about which choice is right, which path is correct, which decision will ensure the future that we want. Or we make a choice. And we walk. And the path takes us where the path takes us. But we cannot walk if we do not decide.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Get some rest. your allies and your friends to their business. And prepare yourselves for whatever lies ahead.
Thank you, Tior.
Gives you sort of pat on the back. And he heads out. Real quick, I want to check in with Mimi because I know we had that quite sort of diverse. Was there any lines of business?
There was one, but that was beautiful. I was over here I was doing the Deo, like just watching.
How the turntables.
When I finish up, like when it gets closer to nighttime, I want to actually find a pixie. And I would try to do it where like other people weren't necessarily around. Hello, darling. Could I borrow you for just a moment?
Sure.
So I know you write all these lovely tales and stuff, and I was wondering if I could borrow one of your pieces.
Of course, yeah, of course. Is there one in particular, sort of like thematically, that you're interested in?
If you have something of like star-crossed lovers, or where maybe they like were separated and come together.
Oh my gosh! And I keep digging.
That would be nice.
Okay. And I pull out 2 scrolls that I have. One is much more worn, and like I've worked over it a few more times than the other.
Mhm.
This one is okay. So there's like they're best friends when they're kids, and then one is swept off with pirates, and
Ooh.
it's all about them reuniting and falling in love again. So I hand you that one,
Mhm.
and then this one, it's more like more closely to like star-crossed, where like the gods are at play.
Ooh.
And like there's fate that sends them apart and then back together again, and it's all entwining. And I hand that one to you. And just in case when you start reading, in case you're wondering, just because like people have asked before, the satyr character is not me.
Well, I was hoping to God there would be a satyr best friend.
Well, there's that one.
Mhm.
The main like protagonist is the satyr.
Ooh.
But then the other one, the love interest, is the satyr. So.
Oh, that's lovely. If we could keep this a little hush between us.
Of course.
but I just, I enjoy some night reading, so it settles my mind. So
let me know what you think.
Oh, absolutely. And I definitely that night just pour through both of those. And I don't care if it's good or not. Mimi loves it. Like that's shit.
They're like a little contrived and overused tropes, but they're not bad. They're not amazing writing, but they're not bad.
It's like the one that she like worked over. Like you can tell, like she's proud of it. And all that. So I definitely like, even if it means I stay up late, like I'll pour over those and read them completely through, probably multiple times. And then in the morning I'm gonna find a pixie, and be like, I figured I should give you these back.
They're already finished?
Oh, multiple times.
Oh.
I love them. They're beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That one's one of my favorites that I've done, so that means a lot to hear.
I can see why. That's you. You genuinely are quite gifted.
Thank you. I'm trying to get better and better. I'm really good at telling a story, like an oration or just speaking out. But I'm trying to get better at writing it down, but sometimes it's hard to get it from up here to the paper.
Trust me, this thing sometimes works a lot faster than anything on the outside. So
exactly.
If you're ever working on something new, or you find an old one that you're just wanting an opinion on, I would be happy to read it.
Well, let me take those, and if you want something that's like a work in progress, a whip, and I pull out the one that's the Beauty and the Beast, but with Epixie and Pig Thassos. Let me know what
Absolutely.
you think.
Oh, I'm so excited.
There's
Newest
another
edition.
satyr. If you get tired of the satyrs, I have some where the satyr girl isn't the main character, but that one's another one about a satyr. So
I kind of like look down at the scroll in my hand and go, I don't think I could ever get tired of Sadus. And so I'll like put it in my bag. And I'll probably end up reading that the next night. As long as we
Epixie's
don't
over
like
the
die or
moon.
something.
Rock and roll.
I can't wait to see what Rode thinks of the one I loaned her before she got on the other ship.
I forgot we have someone we already have to kill.
Why? I feel like the minute he stepped onto this boat, like suddenly this like probably sparse bathroom on this just suddenly got lovely reading material.
Exactly. Deo, was there any lines of business that you would like to do during this downtime?
Yeah, I'd say after sparring, he would get at least a little bit encouraged to take his breastplate. It got like a hole punch through it, and he's gonna attempt to try to like hammer that back out and see if he can't get it to at least functional.
Cool. Go ahead. Do you have like smithing's tools or smither's tools, stuff like that?
I doubt he does. I have thieves' tools, and I think I have a small hammer.
Tior has
I've
some.
watched Forged in Fire.
Oh yeah, I've watched so much of that show. I know what I'm doing. I do have a hammer actually. Huh. And a crowbar for what it's worth.
We'll say with the
Hey,
hammer.
everyone needs a crowbar.
Everyone.
If you're just using the hammer to get it back into place and you don't have any smithing's tools, you can go ahead and is there anybody here that has smithing's tools that could lend it to Deo by chance?
Don't think so.
I'll
but
ask.
I don't remember what I took as my little kit.
I've got herbalism tools, but I don't.
I've got a disguise kit.
You could disguise the armor to make
Put
it look
paint on it.
better.
Yeah,
Be
just
kinda
slap
sick.
some of this on it.
Or you could take this herb and just like, you know.
Yeah, who draws the best? Just put like a lion head or something on.
Got a tinderbox, just light it on fire and hope.
Cool.
Heat it up.
Cool.
I've seen him do this before, but it's one
Group
match.
arts and crafts time.
Cool, Dave. If you're just going to use the hammer, go ahead and just give me a. We'll say that this is a dex check, but it'll be at disadvantage.
Figured, yeah. Okay. Dex check.
I read.
I don't have that.
We got
don't
reader.
have that.
Hello, viewers.
I have.
Hello.
I don't have.
Hey.
I don't have the stuffs, but I have mending as a spell.
Even even at disadvantage, that is an 18.
Hey.
Holy cow.
Hey, Deo, this is your armor, and you know it well.
Aw.
You're trained as an Acron military initiate would know, which is how to take care of their armor and weapons.
Yay.
So you are able to get it to a serviceable position. It's not, obviously, of course, you need to go to a full smithers to get it completely repaired, but that's just an aesthetic thing at this point. So
Yeah. Alrighty, cool. And that'll be my arts and crafts. Yeah, I don't know what day messing around, listening to music, and Tior's conversation happened.
That
I'll
was
say that happened.
the first day, I think.
that was probably the first day.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have snack time, nap time, and circle time.
Exactly.
I worked at a
Yes.
preschool.
Yes. Then for circle time.
I feel like our party would do circle time.
Truly.
Really would. Like the little shapes on the carpet and everything to sit down.
Yeah.
You got Mimi trying to put like the square peg into the round hole and be like,
Yes.
Come on.
"This is the smartest
Why
character I've
won't you
ever
go in?"
made."
Right.
The
Other than that, I think he's gonna attempt to try to add a few more braids into the back of his hair.
Nice. Cool. No check required. I think you're just able to successfully kind of add a couple of more
Getting better.
back there.
If
Rock
for
and
any
roll.
reason for any reason, Deo looks like he's struggling with his braids. Vesi feels kind of bad that she threw him on his ass, so she'll go help him if he needs it. Otherwise, she's leaving him alone.
Also,
He'll say he doesn't need help, but he is knuckles deep in the worst braid you've ever seen.
Oh, so he's got this like
He's
one
Game of
white knuckle in
Thrones
the
fucking
hand.
nonsense.
He's like white knuckle in the braid.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any more time, but that medallion that I gave you is magical.
Ooh.
So
Okay, yeah, I forgot to even add that to my inventory. Then
it
yeah,
requires attunement though, so that would probably take a bit.
yeah.
I mean, it would only
Sure,
take about
the-
an
You could
hour.
always
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, then
okay.
attune while
That
I'm
makes sense.
braiding
I'll
your
take-
hair.
true. Yeah,
Oh,
I'll take out that
cute.
amulet and try to attune to it and try to look like I'm not pleased about the situation.
Rock and roll.
He's being
Though,
surprisingly gentle. So
Yeah.
so
I just
Students
picture
love
like,
getting
you
their
know,
hair
the mom
braided.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
braiding her hair,
best.
like someone's hair, and then the kid moves, and they just smack him on the side.
so even though the item itself is not called this, it is just a Ferris medallion. For magical item text wise, you may add the necklace of adaptation to your inventory.
Oh, cool.
So it functions like that, even though it is just a Pharaoh's medallion. Rock and roll. So, at the end of your guys' journey, you sail on through. You make your way towards the. What you see before you essentially as you're coming up is two sort of like massive bodies essentially. So you see this sort of like initial island that is very not mountainous at all, but it has like rows and rows of trees, so it has a little bit of a forest that has been developed, but it's a lot skinnier and narrower as you're sailing along. But as you see as Tior is sailing, he's paying no attention to the actual island itself, and is instead sailing around the much larger sort of landmass that you see, which just appears this sort of like huge, what you imagine is probably just like a huge giant ball of mountains, as you can just like visually see it. And on top of that, like giant ball, you see that there appears to be several steps on either side. So there's multiple steps around the series leading up to this massive temple. It's kind of hard to see, but it is sort of like off into the distance. And like you see it for just a moment, and the clouds begin to sort of like cover it. And with that, you see as Tior eventually turns and sort of like makes his way around, and he goes to one side of the island, or what you not presume is not an island, because you see as what you imagine as the ball of all of like the spikes and mountains and everything that you see rounding out on one end, there appears to be a massive turtle head that has its eyes closed, and is purely, and as he described, the ship is as big as her lower jaw, and so the ship basically like moves all the way up, so it gets to basically right towards its lower jaw. You see Tior as he walks up, and you see him like hold out like inhale, and he yells something in presumably Draconic as he bellows that out. Once he does so, you see this massive eye open up on one side, and you see this huge turtle eye that has these orange and yellowish, almost like golden irises on this turtle's eye. Looks over and basically just focuses on Tior, and you just see Tior begins start talking in Draconic, and as this occurs, you see Leova as she sort of like raises her head just above the water slightly, and as she begins to talk, but her talking speed is much slower, and so for her it takes this huge, low bellowing of Draconic speak. And as that, it bellows so much that it vibrates like the ship. Like you could feel the sound waves from it. And you see Tior as he like chuckles to himself. He looks to all of you and he just says, "Well, I think I need to do a little bit of just catching up with Leotha." As he sort of looks at, he looks around and he looks over to Vesi. And he sort of like walks up and he just says, "Can I entrust you with something?"
Or I mean, if it's to not hit Deo, I can't.
No, nothing like that. The
I would
temple.
never stop you.
The temple, as I had mentioned before, it allows one a glimpse into the future. What it requires is a sacrifice. He hands over this coiled up letter, and he sort of like hands it to you. This sacrifice, Kloyths, being the goddess of destiny that she is also keen on the futures in one's life. So, in order to ask this question and to receive an answer from this temple, one must sacrifice a potential future that they might have in their life.
Okay.
Whoa.
So you may...
But I mean, it's like, if it doesn't happen and you get rid of it, it's not like you really lost it because you didn't know about it. So like,
Well, it's complicated, but it's a matter of how this is being done. But that letter is a letter from an old lover of mine who had written to me some years ago, and I had never opened it. So, in this, I'm sacrificing that future with him. So, all you must do, once you get there will be plaques in chiseled scriptures on how this temple would work, but you will see a sort of a large spindle of strands, what looks to be like a large strands of fabric. Some have theorized that these are strands of Kloyths' hair itself, others debate it. Regardless, its magical properties work as thus. Sacrifice the item by giving it to the strands consumes it. You ask it a question. This is the question that I'm going to that I would like one of you to ask, which is to find this. Let me rephrase the question. Where must we go in order to find an island unseen?
writing it down. Okay, I will. Do you mean this is kind of a big thing? Do you want me like to look at it for you and then later down the road, like a couple of days from now, just tell you about it? Knowing that you won't, do anything about it, or do you just want to ignore it? Do you just want to turn a blind eye to it?
In order for me to fully seal that future from ever existing, I must not know what the letter says.
Understand. It is going to be safe with me, and she's going to tuck it away in a very, safe spot, so.
Of course. I'm afraid my state, I still have not recovered from whatever magical occurrence that occurred with the season attack. But we'll stay here, keep Kloyths company. The rest of you, you can journey up the steps. I'll guide the ship towards the one we had just passed. It'll take about the remainder of the day. The temple only opens when the sun is out. When the sun is not out, the temple closes itself. So you may have to camp up there for the night. But
Sleepover episode.
On a turtle.
On a turtle.
Sleepover episode.
But I shall be down here, and of course you have numerous forms of communication should the need arise. Though I fear without my magic I may not be of as much use as I normally am.
So, just to be certain, you can't know what's in that letter. Can anyone know what's in that letter?
Deo kind of leads in.
I should ask
anybody
that
is
none
to
of you
read
read the
it.
letter.
Oh, okay.
If any of you read it, then you have to be certain you won't tell him. Are you
It might
certain
be
you can
real
keep that secret
juicy.
for the rest of your life?
I promise you, out of all the gods that we may anger on this journey, Kloyths is not the one that I am keen on anger.
That's very fair. That's fair. I will resist.
I also feel that since he asked us not to open it, maybe we shouldn't.
It's
So-
just so romantic, though.
I know, but if someone asks us to do something that's very personal, we should respect that.
Yeah, I will look. I will look. I promise.
Okay.
She's gonna take it out of the one place that Pixie definitely just watched her put it.
I will
She's gonna
turn
walk
away.
behind. No, she's gonna go downstairs, put it somewhere else, and then come back upstairs.
Put it somewhere else on your person, or do we not? know?
I'm not telling anybody.
Look, the imagination and the thoughts that I will get from what is in that is probably juicier than what's inside anyway. I'll come up with my own thing. It's fine.
You can write it down.
Exactly, it's my plan.
Rock and roll. So Tior pulls the boat up towards the steps, and presumably do all five of you make your way up to the temple?
Yes.
Hell yeah. So I'll real quickly just fast forward through this because I have a good stopping point for our break. So you guys traverse up the steps. So like Tior said, it is going to take the remainder of the day as you guys start to get up there around sundown. Eventually, as you make your way up, you carve through the steps all the way up towards this massive platform where the temple resides. But as you all get up there, you notice a couple of things. You notice a small battalion of soldiers, all wearing Akron colors. They have a symbol on their armors and some on their shields of basically just a six-pack abs. And you see that there are, out of the standouts, most of them you see a couple, you see about, out of the ones in sort of like regular armored gear, you see 3 humans, and then 1 Triton and 1 Minotaur. You then see that there appears to be this sort of
gray-skinned individual with a shawl over their entire body. And you just see glimpses of basically their hand twirling a knife. You see this centaur woman that has all of these, like, you see basically just this giant tool belt around her human torso. And she is currently standing next to this massive, almost like a makeshift spire out of metal. It's kind of has these like weird outputting jutting like contraptions that are all moving about. You see that she's primarily working on that. And then you see this human man in his probably like sort of like late 30s, long sort of flowing brown hair, dark tan skin, he has this sort of like simple sort of like shield on his side, and this very elegant spear basically just sheathed on his back. And he has this sort of like resplendent golden armor in comparison to everybody else. And you see, as you all sort of like stop and make your way up, he turns and looks, he sort of cocks his head to the side, and he said, "Soldiers, attention!" And he sort of looks, and all of the soldiers immediately stand to, turn and look. And
Deo instinctively like stiffens up.
He stares out, he glances over everybody, and he looks over at Mimi and he says, "What are the chances? Soldiers, we got a celebrity in the mix. Mara the Destroyer. Would you look at that?" And that is where
I know this man?
And that's where we're gonna take our break.
You do now.
Oh god.
I'm your biggest
I'm
fan.
gonna flirt with the guards and get us in there.
We're the entourage.
Thank you. So we're taking just a quick break here. So use the restroom, get water, all of that lovely bubbly stuff. We will be right back. So stay tuned to see who this strange band of soldiers are.
Whom star are you?
See you in a bit. We'll be right back.
Yes.
See you in a bit.
I'm gonna go back.
We'll be back in a bit.
Do they count as the Beach Boys?
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
The
Hello.
Misty Mountain streaming. Jumping back in to the Edge of Knowledge. Our
Irish Max
Theros.
says Kermit scream. Yay!
I gotta get a little friend to say hi to Irish. Continue.
Yes.
Wind.
As we jump back into this moment where a band of what appears to be Acrone soldiers, at the very least, recognized Mimi, or in this instance as her stage name, Mara the Destroyer. So you see this, the what you presume to be the leader of this platoon, make his way over to you as he. We love animals here.
Hey, fat baby.
Mine just screams.
Oh,
Just
look
drops
at
the
that.
stream.
Yep. Oh, bye.
Right,
Bye,
baby.
Felicia.
And as soon as he says we have a celebrity, Mauro the Destroyer, as I live and breathe, he makes his way down, and Mimi, you by all means can make a history check to see if you know who this is.
Oh god, if I fail this and he's like met me and I'm like
Please
that
tell me you
asshole
beat him
that
up.
doesn't remember
Forgotten
him.
him.
Hey, you. Hey, pal.
Hey, guy.
Okay, so it's a 14. It's not
a 14.
great, but
Uh,
it's not bad.
I'm gonna
Can I try
Insert
doing an
South Park.
insight check on him to sort of play the assist with Mimi? Can I insight check him?
To see if
you
it's
can
like
you can-
familiar
I mean,
recognition.
you can insight check, but I don't know how much is gonna help Mimi. But you're welcome to make an insight check if you're just trying to
Okay.
gauge what this guy is thinking.
Yeah.
Can I roll a persuasion check to see if you can make it so that the soldiers that Mimi recognizes? No, I'm kidding. I'm
We'll
not
just
Can
gonna
I
These
say-
are
roll an
a chain of
acrobatics
checks.
check so I can do a
Yeah.
sick backflip?
Whole-
And he's so
whole thing
stunned.
is just a chain of all
He
of us
forgets his
doing, like,
own
South Park.
name.
Okay,
I'm not your
sorry.
buddy guy. I'm not your guy friend. I'm not your friend, buddy. Like,
So, Dan, I don't know about you, but I just rolled a 22.
Ooh.
like, I
22.
really does we have a celebrity.
God damn it,
for
Maddie!
You don't know about me.
This fella, he makes his way up. Mimi on a 14. It's hard to tell. You don't think you've ever fought this person before.
Mhm.
But on a 14, it's unclear as to whether or not either of you have met.
God, I met him at like a meet and greet or some shit.
But
Photo
I,
op.
I think on a 14, you would know that you've never like dueled with this individual.
So he doesn't like. We don't know each other like in a close way. Like we've never gone to drinks. Like
Yeah, it would have hit you in more recognition.
Okay.
Deo, you're welcome to make a history check with advantage.
Oh,
Ooh.
man. Ellie, you were so
Advantage.
nervous.
Oh,
Pixie,
boy.
on a-
I've
what'd
done
you say,
this
was it
before.
A 22?
A 22,
I'm
the
gonna
Taylor
tap-
Swift number.
As Deo's doing that, I'm gonna slap him on the back and give him a guidance.
Oh, thanks.
I needed that.
Um,
Not playing.
um,
Wait, okay, I know I already
Pixie-
did, but can I like I have a guidance from chat? Could I like it might be too late. It's okay if it's too late.
if you want, because getting it to a slightly higher number, I'll give you a little bit more info about this.
Please, thank you.
Use that guy.
With my insight check, I mostly just want to be like, oh, is this a reaction of he's a fan, reaction of mutual friend, reaction of guy who works at the same coliseum, like a familiarity level?
And now it's a 17.
17. 17, I think all you would know, Resplendent, the sigil looks familiar to you, and the name Armor of Argus comes up.
Okay.
Epixie, I think all you get from this guy is a fan. But the way that he's carrying himself, he's not carrying himself as if somebody is like, I think on a 20, was it a 22 insight?
A 22 insight.
He's like the type of person that's like a fan, but isn't reacting as if they're seeing their favorite celebrity in the world. They're reacting as if they're like an interviewer who's meeting a celebrity who's like part of their job. Not necessarily that.
So he's like in the industry himself, you would say.
It seems like he is in, or at least has some knowledge of the culture within Acros.
Okay.
Seems like he's holding himself to a higher standard.
Adam opened the door and almost killed my dog.
What kind of check did you ask for?
We said we love animals on this stream. It was a history check.
I rolled a nat 20, and then I rolled max
Oh.
on the guidance, so I rolled my max, which is a 25.
A nat 20. Deo.
Hey.
Who
would
this
know-
be?
This is Cateus Argus. He is the leader of the Armor of Argus Battalion. You
Oh.
know within Acron culture that there are several battalions that are made up within the Acros military. Some are privatized and some align themselves directly with the royal house. You know the Armor of Argus being one of the more private sides of battalions that exist. And you know Cateus, I'll put in the chat his name, not the stream chat, somebody else would have to do that. Because in order for the stream to work,
Oh,
we all turned
went
into
away.
Discord
whoops.
things.
I should have.
Secrets! Secrets! You can see my Epixie
My
doodle.
bad.
This should be
Forget
back
you
in a
ever
second.
saw anything. We're back in a second. All right. Whoops.
Someone said the sketches are amazing.
Thanks. It's a pixie, a pig standing on its back legs, and a dragon turtle that looks like a turtle.
I love that.
I love it. It's just evil turtle.
So yeah, this is Cateus Argus. He is a known, very skilled fighter of this battalion, the Armor of Argus. And you would know on that Nat 20 history check that Cateus comes from a royal line. Not a royal line, a noble line of a being that he's from a very, very wealthy family.
Okay.
But he's also the type of like person that backs up what he says. Think of him sort of like Tom Brady in that sense, whereas Tom Brady was or Taylor Swift, where they were born very rich and had all the advantages, but are very good at what they do.
It's
I was about to be
Taylor
like-
Swift grew up on a Christmas tree.
There was
farm.
about to be some TV static behind these eyes when you said Tom Brady.
Can I ask one other question? I don't know if this would be a perception thing. When he says, looks like we have a celebrity, does it seem passive aggressive? Like, these famous people who think they deserve everything, or like just a comment that's like, oh, like a celebrity?
Give me an insight check.
God damn it! I'm using my inspiration that Irish gave me. I love you so much. Okay, hang on. Where'd it go? Oh wait, I get a +5. What the fuck? That's an 18. Okay. I'm used to playing really low insight characters where it's like -4, so I got real nervous.
There was admiration behind his voice when he says that.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you think you can just go anywhere because you're good at swords.
No. There was genuine admiration.
Okay.
He walks up to all of you, and he just says, "Well, fancy seeing all of you out here. I fully didn't expect. Mara, is this your? I've heard tell that you had left the Citadel and have ventured out with Stormmane. Is this the supposed crew?"
Yeah, that's friends we made along the way. But yeah, Stormmane is actually back with the ship.
Ah, I see. Well,
What are you doing here?
Well, we were heading to the. I'm heading to the Temple of Kloyths, and my platoon here follows me where I go. So.
It's important to have a posse. It's like, these are my boys.
I had forgotten that the temple itself closes when the sun goes down, so we were just setting up camp and everything. But seems like you all are at camp here for the same reason, I presume.
Yes, just a little more direction on our journey would be. We wanted a little insight.
Hey, at a temple that can tell you what your future looks like, no better place to be, I might say.
Absolutely.
Feel free to join us. We're just getting our camp set up here, getting everything all situated.
Pardon me. Looks to everybody else. Says, I don't believe we haven't met. My name is Cateus Argus. I run the Armor of Argus. I lead the Armor of Argus platoon.
Mimi
I'm
is
gonna kind of like lean back
visibly
to the other
relieved when he
girls.
says his name.
Be like, big deal back home.
Do I recognize his name, like when he says it?
Cateus Argus rings a bell for you, and
Okay.
you would know them as like a noble house within Akros.
Okay, gotcha. Alright.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Um,
I don't believe
this
we've
is-
met.
Ooh.
No, we haven't.
What's your name?
As they're doing this
Solstice.
conversation, you guys can hear Vesi just go start like cracking all of her knuckles, menacingly standing to the side.
Solstice.
Pleasure to meet you, Solstice. I am Cateus, as I had mentioned. He pans over Vesi, you doing that, and he goes, "So, I don't believe we've met either. What is your name?"
No. Vesi.
Just Vesi?
I love her.
Yep.
He looks over at Epixie and he says, and your name?
But yes, see, I am the lore master for this journey.
Oh. That's quite the title you have.
I hold my hand out like this to him.
Ah. Of course. And he goes
Nope.
over, takes your hand, and then kisses it.
She didn't think that would actually work.
Rocks on this
She
girl.
immediately,
I
like,
love her
turns
so
and is
much.
like,
Oh my god.
Yes, we are a very skilled and talented group. There will be many tales woven by yours truly after we are finished here.
Well, that is fantastic to hear.
Love her.
And he sort of looks at you for a second, Dave, and he says, "Have we met?"
I think you stood up my sister once. I'm Diogenes Nikitas.
Diogenes Nikitas. Ah, yes. I
Woo!
don't believe I'm familiar with your sister. But
You should be.
Scalding.
Should be.
I know your mother, Ariskaton.
Well, you would know his sister. She's a friend of mine, Diona.
Diona. That's right. Well, I do apologize. Perhaps there was a mix-up in scheduling. Who knows?
Yeah. Like, I know, you're busy.
Hmm.
Yeah, certainly.
He pulls out a cup of-
He's not busy.
So it's
Well-
pronounced Erisicton.
Ersikton.
And why are you talking about my mom?
I was just saying that I had met your mother before.
Why are... Okay. Then, if everything is fine, back home, probably, why do you need a glimpse into the future here if you can get everything you need from her?
Well, your mother, a skilled oracle as she is, gleams into victories of battles and fights and conquests of the Akron polis, but for something that I'm looking for is a little bit more specific.
What are you looking to find?
Yeah, what is it?
We told you us.
Did
well,
Spill.
I am simply wanting to have confirmation as to what my life will be when I am aged and old and can no longer fight along my battalion.
Understandable.
You are aware you have to give up something to actually get any answers in
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah, what are you giving up?
Yes, I am quite aware. And he sort of like pulls out this little scroll and he says, "This is an acceptance letter to the Takatian army of Melitis for my expertise and capabilities. But I see myself as an Acrone through and through. So I will stay with my own battalion, but use this as sacrifice.
Understandable.
Please, as I mentioned,
We
by all
have
means,
successfully made this awkward.
by all means, please join us. We're just setting up camp for the night. I'm sure we can share stories of exploits and adventures that we had gone on. Let me introduce you to everybody. And he sort of goes around, he says, and he gestures to the centaur woman. He says, "This is Videl Ucatcher, our resident worshipper of Perforos. She is quite the expert." She kind of just looks over, glances over at you all like once, and then continues working on this sort of large metal spire.
She glances. Vesi just goes.
She looks over
like,
and does
as soon as
not nod back.
As soon as this guy like recognized Mimi, by the way, you guys definitely notice she like puffs her chest a little bit and like goes more into like her little Mora persona to be like, can't have this guy knowing that I'm soft.
And he gestures over to the sort of gentleman in sort of scrawls and in shawls and whatnot. He says, "This is Thiegus, the Unseen." And he just
He's right there.
He just sort of like looks at us. He says, "Hey, we joke about that all the time, don't we, Thiegus?" Thiegus just sort of like looks and then doesn't respond. And he introduces you to the rest of the soldiers. He says, "This is Daphnis, Eogalia, Isidora, Onapion, and Synagrios."
I love sangria.
My brain just went there.
Hello. How are
Perfect.
you all?
They are all sort of like waving and they're introducing themselves. They also appear to, when they go to Mara, they are very like invested in like chatting with you more and talking about past battles that you have been in, and they are just like over the moon, sort of just like asking questions.
I am quite used to this. I've had a nice reprieve though for a bit. But I'm you know, I'm good at putting on that show, so I'm like talking about different like battles of like hydras and minotaurs and all these cool bitches I beat up.
They are eating it up. The one minotaur in the group just says, "Yeah, we put up quite a fight, yeah."
Oh, he's a tough one.
Truly.
It's not often I see someone taller than I am in the ring, so
What can I say?
I fist bumped him.
Love.
And
May I go up to that spire? I want. What is that?
Yeah, you go up, and from what you can glean, so the way that the spire looks is that it appears to be like made of metal entirely, sort of like bronze and brass of some kind. The way that it looks is that it has like a singular sphere on top that sort of then outstretches downwards like a cone. So like imagine like a cone on the bottom right there, and then it's pyramids into a sphere on top. That's essentially what the spire itself sort of like looks like. And then jutting out from the cone, almost because like you can imagine it like this, and then I'm trying to think of like a reference. You know,
Does it have like branches and things?
kind of, yeah. So like it can stand in this sort of solid state where it's like seamless and flat, but then jutting out around the cone are these like long, sort of like spindly, almost like spider legs that like emerge out from the cone. Some are emerged out, some are not, and they all are sort of like attached through these
various sort of gears and mechanisms. And you see Videl, the centaur woman, as she's working on the spire itself. And as you get close to it, without looking at you, she just says, "Don't touch it."
I love her so much. I love her so much.
I wasn't planning on it. What is it?
It works like a siphon.
Siphon?
Yeah.
What's a siphon?
I don't have time to explain.
Alright then. I guess I don't have time to talk to you.
From behind Solstice, he looks murderous.
Was the okay? I could be reading this wrong. Was the Minotaur guy like the most excited out of everyone? Like as far as like meeting Mora?
Yeah,
Or
I'd say
Mimi?
so.
I definitely like as it's getting darker. This might be later. I don't know how dark is it right now. Like is it night time?
The sun has set, so campfires
Oh.
have been like created, and the
Oh,
Minotaur,
fires.
that's Cinegrios.
Okay.
Sangria.
Oh, it's sangria.
Sangria.
Are you a fighter yourself?
Yeah. You know, I just started, found myself in the armor of Argus, so I'm pretty proud about that. But you know, still getting my bearings, still figuring things out.
I'll kind of like start kind of unsheathing my sword. Gotta show me what you got.
yeah, let's do it.
All right.
He just pulls out. He basically just has these like covered like fists. So he basically just covers his fists. Kestis, I think is what they're called. He just covers his fists with spikes, essentially.
Okay. He doesn't have like a sword or anything though.
No, he's full just using,
What
do
using
I
the
have?
Kestis.
If you haven't noticed, he's a minotaur.
What was it? I didn't know if he'd have like an axe. or
There's a lot
something.
going on.
Okay. Can I use my hand axes instead?
Sure.
Okay. Hang on. I gotta equip these things. Hang on.
Dual wield.
I haven't used hand axes in a long time.
Dual
Okay.
wielding, bro.
They're not gonna do a ton of damage, but
rock and roll.
I drop my sword and I pull out my hand axes and I'm like, seems a little more even.
Let's give it a shot. So go ahead and just roll a d20. It's just gonna be contested. We'll say athletics.
Would
for
a
this.
guidance
Oh, athletics, he's screwed.
work in this? Guidance, if I was to give Mimi a guidance, like, because I wanted to be setting up a resilient sphere, so just from the sphere, just being like, "You got this, kick his butt," and that's like the guidance.
Hell,
I mean, I'll take
I
it.
don't know
guys.
Yeah, if you
If
want
they're
to give
not,
if you
but
want to
you
give Mimi
haven't.
guidance, you absolutely may.
I do have like a +9 on this too, though, so like he's fucked.
It's a cantrip. Like, it's not like it's. Can you stop trying to eat everything,
That's-
sweetheart?
So he got a 14.
Tummy
Oh.
be bigger.
25.
sweetie, oh
Thank
no.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, I
know.
think good.
So yeah, you
Uh-oh.
you definitely wipe the floor with him in terms of sparring.
And like I'm letting him get in like a few shots
Yeah,
too,
definitely.
just like. But yeah, well,
He gets it in.
I start swinging the axes.
Yeah, you fully sort of wipe the floor with him. As that all happens, you see all the other soldiers are just like, they're just patting him on the back. They're just like, "You did a great job." It's like, good effort, man.
They're lighting fires right now.
Yes, they are lighting some campfires.
I'm going to back away into the darkness,
Oh.
away from the camp.
There's the sphere that's kind of away from everybody if you want to join her. She's making a sphere to protect the party of 5 for the night.
Ooh.
Go to Luke Resilient Sphere basically means that people who I say can come in, but like people who I don't want in can't come in.
How far away is the sphere from? Are there like braziers of fire going Dan?
Uh,
What's going
no,
on?
I mean,
So right
yeah,
now,
that's actually.
on like the only sort of like bit of flat surface that everyone has next to this temple, because right now you guys see that the temple's closed, and the temple I should describe looks very much that like it's a very simple one where it is just like lines of columns that have that sort of like half circle roof on top
Mhm.
of it, very elegantly designed. Along the columns themselves, you just see they're not like those straight lines, they're instead these like wavy lines, almost to mimic the flowing of hair. And you see that these like flows, all of these like, so normally there would be like openings in it, but when the sun went down, you all saw it briefly, these like strands of golden light that appears in like the openings that like prevent any access from coming in.
That's dope.
Ooh.
Hey,
And-
Dan?
Yes.
Did you say that the centaur was worshipped Perforos?
Yes. Cateus mentioned that the Videl, she worships Puriphoros. I may have pronounced that wrong, but
At some point in the evening, Epixie's gonna go over. And is she still working on something?
She is still working on the spire. Before we jump into that, I just want to
Go
resolve
ahead.
what Solstice was sort of figuring out. So there is one campfire that is being set
Okay.
up right now.
Gotcha. I'm gonna
The
go
sphere is
into
as
this.
far as away as we can be on this patch of land.
Mhm.
So-
I'm going to enter the sphere if it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not allowed in.
yeah, you go to take a step for a second and bounce off of it, and then she goes, "Yes, you can let it go."
I've told you not to do that again. It hurts. Just a little bit.
Rockin'. So yeah, Pixie, you want to head up to where Videl is working?
Yeah, she's just gonna go up and be like, "Hey, what you working on?"
As soon as you get close, she says, "Don't touch it."
Oh, I was more interested in talking with you than touching anything. What's up?
I'm working. What's up with
Oh.
you?
What are you working on?
It's a siphon.
What's a siphon?
No.
You see her take a moment, she rolls her eyes, and she just says, "I don't have time to explain what a siphon is.
That's okay, that's fair. You seem very busy.
I am."
I just came over because I heard that that you worship Perforos.
Hmm?
I had a friend who was made by Perforos before.
Fascinating.
That's kind of a cool coincidence, huh?
Sure.
He was a giant brass centipede, and he would take his arms off and shoot them like arrows.
She turns to you and she says,
Wow.
"I'm sure that is very fascinating and quite intriguing, but unless you're going to help me get this siphon set up, I really am not in the mood to talk about anything else."
His name was Catacomb, and I could help you if I knew, but you won't tell me what a siphon is, so I don't know if I can help you. I will leave you be now. It seems like you are a solo adventurer yourself. And I turn around and I walk off.
It's like the NPC in like Skyrim.
Amazing.
Just like farming and just like.
Yup.
She stops a couple feet away and is like, "You know, I think Perforos would smile down upon someone who's interested in one of his creations. That's all I'm saying." And I'll keep going.
Oh god.
You see as she pauses for a second,
King
and
enemies
continues working.
left and right.
Hey, guys, what's up? I'm back.
So you probably joined Vesi and Solstice
Yeah.
Sphere.
How'd
Hey,
that
do you
go?
guys know what a siphon is?
No, I
You
don't.
get the
I
same treatment.
ask.
Yeah.
You get the same treatment of
Why?
a point, and then you get to come in.
Ooh,
Would
that's
I have any idea what a siphon is?
You're welcome to make either I'll say either intelligence or I'll just say a flat intelligence to just figure out what a siphon is.
Right. Let me see.
At least for me, I don't know if Mimi does. Ellie doesn't know what a siphon is.
Come here, booger.
Thing where you
There we go. Wow, so much luck. So much
I know the
luck.
term siphoning.
Getting war flashbacks to like my old college
18?
campaign. This siphon's the name of like a really, really bad deity.
18. Siphon.
I picture the locked tomb because they siphon life energy out of people.
Well, so it's like you know it by its technical definition of what it's normally used, which is to it's normally a tube that is used to like get liquid and get it from a reservoir. So sort of like moving liquid up from a reservoir and then down on to a different level on its own accord. So I think on that 18, you just know the general term of it of getting liquid from below to higher location above.
Okay. Yeah, I'll explain that. I'll explain that out to everybody.
So, what do you think she's going to use the siphon for?
What if it's for something bad?
I mean, siphons aren't normally for something bad. It's just like a crystal healing thing or whatever that some girls like to do, like charging things. Like, you don't know for sure if it's gonna work, but like if doing it makes you feel better.
But if she's building it on top of a giant turtle, I mean, we could just be a little overcautious. I mean, we've been known to be that before.
I'm just thinking that we should be able to have bragging rights if it turns out that the centaur is an evil mastermind. I'm just putting that out there.
Busy.
Why do you not like her so much?
I had no issue until she started, like, not showing interest in my story.
I mean, some people have different, like, tastes.
She was
and
rude
stuff.
about it. She could have been nicer about it. That's all.
She was kind of rude to me too.
Yeah. And I came up with something that I thought would match her interests. And I was trying to be cordial. It's fine. I've moved past it. I just think we shouldn't take Evil Centaur off the table, just in case.
That's something I really like
I
about you,
don't have-
Epixie. Not bitter.
Yeah.
This is the very first character I've played on this stream that does not have message, and I'm very mad about it. But anyway. Can I cast a sending spell because I can't leave my spot because I've made my sphere for the evening? So I'm gonna send a sending spell to her and just be like,
Yo, what's up? What are you siphoning?
siphoning.
Leave this poor woman
You
alone.
cannot escape. I am going to create an environment so overstimulated.
This is me in a Walmart, like, just dissociating in the soup aisle. Because there's too many people breathing.
She turns around to look. It's the same. Just
as you send that message, you see she stops, looks, sees you. You do that nod, and she just like drops her tools to the ground, and you see she trots over to where Kateas is. And she starts just like talking to Kateas for a second.
Shit, Vesi, stop.
Mimi.
Just act natural, guys.
Mimi,
act
are you with
natural.
the crew
found
in
the
the
line
sphere,
to
or are you
cross.
still
No.
out where all the battalion is?
I was chilling with the Minotaur guy.
So you kind of overhear Videl walk over to Cateus, and you just see Videl as she looks over and she just says, I can't. You know this. You know this. I can't. You know I can't. You know I can't.
We picked the
When
one NPC.
When I work,
Not
I work.
necessary.
Alright? You ask me to work, I'm building it. That's what I do. And in order for me to do that, I need complete and total concentration. And I can't have that with your celebrity guest around here putting in on this. And you see Cateus as he says,
Yeah, literally the two locals who didn't do shit.
you see Cateus who says, all right.
Did I overhear this?
You overhear Videl doing that, and she says,
I definitely look over at the sphere, and I'm just like,
You see a pixie acting normal, which is like me doing a really awkward pose and like leaning on Solstice.
I do
and
the
you see me mouth
thing.
like,
I do the thing where you taught me where it's or I'm like
oh, the mouth.
trying to.
So once Mimi mouths,
woman
"What are you
insane."
doing?" Pixie just goes, "Being friendly."
Oh, can they not hear?
I don't know what a siphon is. I'm sorry.
I like the
Pixie,
idea that
I
I'm
told
mouthing
you
but
it's
you're
like a
actually
crystal
talking.
healing thing.
We should
Wait,
be
is
able to
Deo
hear
outside of
it.
the? Deo, are you in the?
I think
prison?
Deo's in the sphere right now.
Okay.
No, I was outside the sphere. I'm chilling.
Oh, so Deo, you can't hear. I don't think the sphere allows
Oh!
for sound to go through. Correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but you might be right there.
We
It's
can't
a
hear
protective
you.
thing for my
We
people.
can't hear you.
Pixie just shouts louder to see if Mimi can hear.
We can't.
I was being polite.
They were being really mean.
Your lips, I know.
but
What
you see
did you do?
Cateus as he goes to Videl. He says, "All right, okay, I know, I understand." And she says, "Do you want it built or not?" And he says, "I want it built. I want it built, Videl. I want it built." She says, "I'm gonna go back to my work. If I get another distraction, then I'm done. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna fix it." He says, "Videl, you and I both know that you can't walk away from a project once you've started it." And she kind of like looks, she kind of points a finger at Cateus. He says, "No more distractions." She trots back over to the sphere. You see Cateus as he sort of looks and turns and sees Mimi. And he walks over to you, Mimi. He says, Mora.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Hey, listen. So I know that I think you and your friends are friendly, and I appreciate it. I think that's wonderful.
Yes.
But Videl, she's working on something. When she gets her mind to it, she's just like can't have any distractions on. So.
Oh, I totally understand.
Yeah, she's got one track mind, and she has a goal, and she's gonna do it. So.
I'll talk to them. I'm terribly sorry. They're very friendly.
It's all right. They were just being friendly. I know Videl. She can often come off, what's the word? Difficult. But she is very good at what she does, and she is dear friend, and she's amazing. And just while she's working, we'll just leave her.
Of course, that's totally fine. I apologize. That's sometimes people who are very outgoing and friendly don't realize that some people are not as social. If you'll give me just a moment.
I hear you loud and clear. For me, I love talking. That's one of my favorite activities. Is that I can go to anybody, speak to anybody, and just have a conversation. And I think it's
absolutely.
In that right, Thegus looks over at Thegus, still covered in shawls. Yeah, he knows what's up. So,
He gets it. I'll kind of turn to
Love him.
I can't think of his name other than Sangria, so I'm gonna turn to Sangria and be like, give me a moment, I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go over to the orb, and I don't try to go into it. I stand outside of it and wait for you to give me the go ahead that it's not gonna bounce me back. I saw that.
Can I
You
do
look
something
again at her
before you
and the
look
look that
over?
you're getting.
Hmm?
The look that you get back, like as you're standing there waiting, is Vesi, and they're just going
I'll knock on it.
like she's waiting, and eventually she'll let you come through.
This is
Solstice.
the moment I solidified myself as party mom. I'm gonna ground you guys.
Solstice, what did you want to do before Mimi walks over?
I want to turn into a fly. And-
While all of this is happening, Epixie's
Yeah.
just going, I'm telling you, evil centaur. She's trying to siphon power.
I want to turn into a fly. Buzz over to Vidal.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check with advantage.
It's Chaos Night, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna mess
boy.
some
My
stuff
lungs
up.
are
Oh,
not,
God.
my lungs are not happy right now because I keep laughing.
That's
Okay. Stealth check. That's going to be a
Leave
13.
her alone.
Oh, yeah.
She's trying to do her job.
Well, maybe she should have been nicer to us, the main characters.
I got a
Specifically,
13.
she should have
13,
been nicer
okay.
to me.
Hi, Raiders. We're irritating a centaur tonight.
And I'm about to
Alright.
ground
I
the
air
party.
it.
You as a fly land on her shoulder, and she pays no mind or attention to you as she's working.
Oh, I just kind of sit there watching the gears.
I don't like how you said that.
You just hang out for
Nick
an
is
hour
grounded.
and then come
Like,
back.
Okay.
Not Soul. Nick is grounded.
Sorry.
Alright.
It's
well, I
fine.
Don't
guess-
apologize.
guess
Do
I
not
died.
apologize for this.
I
Keep
kind of feel
going.
bad now.
No, you're good. I'm playing.
You're just playing.
Hi, Bliss.
But I'll bang on the sphere, and like once I realize that you've like set it up so I cannot get bounced back, because I'll wait. I'm doing the cross arms, like I'm tapping my foot, like
Yeah, the look that you're getting back is very much just like the cat waiting, just like.
During this,
Yes,
during this,
yes.
could I have made my way around kind of the group of wherever they're setting up camp? So a bit out of eye shot. Not trying to sneak, really. Just like, oh, hi, cool, hey. Trying to make my way around to the other side of the camp.
Okay.
And then I want to go behind a tree. Get a rock. I would like to walk back over
So there's no
to the
trees.
Oh, right. Well, okay, I don't know what the
and there
geography
aren't-
is on a
there
dragon
aren't-
turtle.
There aren't really rocks.
Hmm.
If you want to,
Mimi's gonna turn you over her knee.
if
I-
you want, you could chip away at a little bit of Leotha's shell.
That seems rude.
Nah. Okay, Okay, yeah, if I can't find anything, I'm just gonna kind of go around to the opposite side. And I'm gonna take out my python and my hammer.
Hmm?
And I would like to use my legacy of Dis to use disguise self and turn myself into Videl.
Uh-huh.
And then
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
try to set myself up the exact same way she is, working on this
What is
siphon,
happening?
and then just start tap 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 tap.
Okay. So I'll say that definitely requires a stealth check
Okay.
for
Okay, yeah.
anybody to notice.
I'm about to go
Okay.
lecture these guys, and you're a terrorist.
Derailing
These are my own
everything.
people.
You don't menace.
I feel so bad for you, Dan. I'm sorry.
No, do not
Okay,
apologize.
Stealth,
I feel
that
you.
was... Is a 29 okay?
Wait, that's pretty good.
I mean,
no one's actively looking for you, and no one asks
Yes,
you.
it's
Yeah.
barely
a
passed.
13 worked for me.
Yeah.
So,
True. Okay.
So you've
Please don't
disguised
put it
yourself as
Why are you
Videl,
trying not to talk
Yeah.
in your ears?
so you're on the opposite side of the spire,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna start ting 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 ting.
Oh, no, I'm on, like, imagine, like, Spire
Yeah.
and whatever the opposite one to that one is. And I begin working on it the same way.
Oh, so there is no opposite spire. So there's just the singular
Frick.
metal spire.
You just do it in the air. In the air.
I thought you were just
Yeah, I'll
on
do
the
that.
other side
You,
of.
yeah, I thought you were gonna be
Videl.
on the other side of the spire where Videl can't see you.
Like a
'cause it's
mirror.
large enough.
Oh,
it's-
then yes, I will absolutely do that. I thought it was a littler spire.
No, imagine this fire is feet wise. We'll say that it has a 20-foot diameter.
Oh, damn.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
So you can be on the opposite side. Tink 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 away.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Cool. So you start doing that. Before we we'll come back to that. We'll jump over to Mimi, still waiting outside the sphere.
I'm gonna put my fingers on it first and push to see if you actually dropped it.
He waits until you're putting your weight into it. Drop it.
Okay, and then I'll come through. Because I'm like, I ain't falling for that. What was that?
Okay, you gotta listen to our side of the story, though.
Okay, I'm listening.
Pixie's got her tinfoil hat on.
Let me get out the red
Always
yarn.
sunny.
Listen,
Right here.
when the big guy who's like your biggest fan was introducing everyone, he mentioned that Videl followed Porphyros.
Okay.
And I was very excited to bond with her, and I went over to be nice and cordial, and I brought up that I had something in common with Videl and who she worshipped, and she was so rude, and then she got mad when I asked what a siphon was, so I was like, okay, excuse me, goodbye, and now she's all mad because we were trying to be friendly.
Where is Solstice?
I don't know.
You know, and I know you know.
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
As far as I know, Solstice poofed and zipped away. That's all I know.
No.
I'll handle her later. Okay, I need you to understand. I want you to know this is coming from a place of love. This is constructive. You are so full of love and enthusiasm,
Thank you
and
very
you're
much.
so friendly.
Yes, I am.
Some people have what could be called social anxiety. So sometimes they, even though you are being so kind and so forthcoming, they might not be in the right headspace, especially if they're working on something, they're focusing on something, in order to let that in. So maybe when she's not working on something would be a nice time to, say hello, introduce yourself. But especially with new people, some people have trouble with that.
Ellie, I'm gonna need you to stop. This is way too close to a convo that my parents have had with me as a child multiple times.
Yeah, Mimi, the minute that you said
Me
this
as
is
an
coming from a
adult,
place of
actually.
love, you can just see Vesi sitting there with a water skin just going,
Not everyone is going to like it.
So
And again, this is a
throughout
place
this
of
whole
love.
thing,
You but sometimes your kindness can, even if it's unintentional, will invade people in a way that they're not comfortable with. You have to know people's limits before you push them.
As you're talking to Epixie, she keeps glancing over just with her eyes to the spire because she knows that Solstice is over there somewhere. And
Do
she's
I
trying
notice
to,
her
like,
doing this?
communicate
You absolutely
telepathically
notice her.
somehow. Wait, I
Oh, wait.
can communicate telepathically. Hold on. Can I telepathically send a message to Solstice that just says, Mimi knows?
What?
I am...
Okay, alright, hold on. 1 second. Hold on. Okay. What is the range on that telepathy?
I think it's 30 or 60 feet. Let me double check.
That is a big difference.
Yeah.
60 you'll make it. 30 is not gonna make it.
EVP has been turned on.
It's 30 feet, so it doesn't make it.
30 does not make it. 60 would
y'all
have made it. but
y'all
30
see
No.
Pixie, like, her eyes go tight for a second. And she's thinking really hard to Solstice. Solstice doesn't hear it, but she's going, Mimi knows. Evacuate. And then Pixie goes,
I'm really sorry. In the future, I will not do that when people are busy. Mimi knows.
So as
That's, when I notice her eyes doing that, I'm like, okay. I am
Mimi
taking
is
note of
like-
that.
Mimi is just seeing a pixie just going,
yeah.
yeah, fully.
Uh-huh.
So as this conversation is happening, Deo, you're ting 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 ting.
I forgot Deo was over there too.
I didn't remember all my fucking kids.
So is that all that you're doing right now? Cool.
Yeah.
Solstice, you're on Vidal's shoulder, and as she's working, she stops for a second, and you now hear the ting ting ting. Vidal kind of just like, and she trots over to the other side and sees Deo disguised as Vidal, but she sort of looks, and as she looks and does this, squints her eyes, and she says, Thegus, I swear
Working.
you have You think you're funny, Thegus. You think you're funny.
She's gonna kill you.
Do you think you're funny, Thegus?
You guys, Thegus is the guy in the
How is
robes.
Deo- How does Deo get his butt kicked in every scenario?
I'm like sweating right now.
This is really tense.
Being a parent is hard.
You,
Oh god.
you see, you think you're funny, and you see as she takes one of her tools as it lights up with this sort of like fire around it, and as she sort of like grips around these tongs, this little ember shoots out from the fire and it hits you. So was this disguise self a spell?
Yes.
Cool, so that immediately gets dispelled.
Oh, boo.
As she and sees you, and she looks and she says, I'm sorry, who are you?
Working.
No.
You see Vidal as she just trots over to where the rest of the group is. And she goes to where her tent is.
Berating these people.
She goes to where her tent is and just goes in and then zips it closed.
Oh shit, I'm still on her shoulder.
Do I see her leave?
You absolutely do see her leave.
I leave the sphere and I'm on a warpath. That little boy about to get spanked.
Okay. How long
We
can I
have
stay
them all.
as a fly?
Oh god.
Shit.
Grow up. Oh my god.
Wild shape.
I mean, it probably took her a second to get to her tent. You could have flown off of her tent.
I didn't though.
Yeah, but
No, Solstice is along for the ride.
5 hours. I can stay as
Okay.
a fly.
Okay.
Are there any holes in the tent?
you shouldn't.
All right, I'm gonna. Okay.
But
so
is that what you want
You're
to
gonna deal with
do?
that. Go ahead and give me an investigation check to look.
Because
for any
I know
holes.
what I'd want to
Like, you're
do.
gonna deal with that.
As a fly, investigation. Okay, I keep my.
It should just be whatever your intelligence.
Yeah, I keep it. Good. Fuck. I'm sorry.
You guys are so grounded.
Are we okay to curse? Cursing's okay, right?
Oh yeah.
I've done it.
I say the
yeah,
fuck word
my
a lot.
dude.
Yeah.
Investigation.
Hell yup, it is.
9.
You don't find any holes.
Whoa! Epixie is still over in the bubble, going like this towards the tent.
Mimi
Is
knows.
the
Mimi
tent
knows.
30 feet away?
No.
Yeah. Oh, no.
So I don't know that Mimi knows.
You have no idea.
That's your biggest
Great.
issue right now. is
Uh,
that
so yeah,
I'm
Mimi, you
Just
walk
picturing
out
a
and you.
tiny sweating fly.
As soon as you
sliding
walk
along
out,
on
you
her
can
shoulder.
see that Deo is working on the other side of the spire, still with that hammer and everything.
What the fuck?
Working.
If you say working, are you guys trying to drive this woman mad?
Not my fault she's not from around here.
She's from where you're from.
So?
Oh, I just knocked my freaking headphones off. Deo, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
What was your goal here?
To work.
On what?
And I think I did it.
What were you working on?
Our project.
What's a siphon?
Siphon is usually used to control the flow of water, but it can also be used as a spiritual conduit. Mimi.
Oh my god.
As you two are having this, you hear from behind you two. You hear, "Hey, listen."
God damn it!
Yes.
I am a
Damn.
champion in the ring and I can't control my children.
Damn,
I'm a
right?
bad parent.
You're not my dad.
I raised you wrong.
Damn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, listen, I just heard something from Vidal. So I just wanted to get. By the way, Solstice, you saw briefly that Cateus went into the tent and Vidal basically just explained what happened.
I'm gonna unzip.
Oh.
So if you want to use
I
that
totally
opportunity,
did not know that that happened.
So if you want to use that as an opportunity to leave, you're more than welcome to do so.
Fly towards the bubble and eventually you'll get my message.
It's just all of them at once.
Do I
Just
want
this
to leave?
Echoing
though?
effect.
Like when your service comes back and it's just rapid.
As I will say, so I'll go over this conversation real quick. As you see, as you are a fly over the shoulder, which you said it was a 13 stealth.
What?
You're a stealth.
No, it was a 13 investigation. Oh, 13 stealth, yeah.
Gotcha. As you see Cateus as he walks in, he sort of looks. He says, "Vidal, what's going on?" And you see Vidal just says, "What? How am I supposed to work? How am I supposed to work when children, literal children, are interrupting at all times?" Do you know what she did? She disguised herself as me. I thought it was Thegus at first pulling a joke, which I'd never expect Thegus to pull a joke. And you see Cateus, he says, he's quite the chuckler, let me tell you. And you
Something
see,
tells me
and you
he's
see,
not.
and you see
And you see Fidelity says, I know he is, but I wouldn't expect him to do something like this. And when I dispelled the disguise, lo and behold, it's the Nikotos kid who was disguised himself. And you see, he says, I see, okay. And she says, listen, I can build the siphon for you, okay? Easy peasy, all right? And like you said, but what irritates me the most is that you keep calling it a plan B, and I don't like it being called a plan B, okay? I like it. If you ask me to build something, I expect it to be plan A. He says, well, I'm not expecting to use it, okay? All I'm saying, I just want a little safety net, that's all. Listen, okay, I'll go speak to Deo, and I'll figure it out. And she says, and I don't even care if he comes from Acrone nobility, all right? And he says, I understand, all right? Trust me. We'll get this all sorted. Okay. All right, you all right, Videl? She says, I'm done for the night. I'm done. Okay? I'll work first thing tomorrow morning, but I'm done for the night. Okay? He says, hey, sun is down. Get some stew when you can. It's gonna be good. He closes the tent. And as he walks over, Solstice, do you take that opportunity to leave?
No.
Rock and roll.
What the fuck?
So he walks right over to Deo and
Wait. No, I already did. I already
Close
said.
the tent to the fires.
So
I already
you see,
said it.
He says, listen, Videla just told me something, and I just wanted to get that checked out. He looks at you, Dad. He says, did you disguise yourself as her and was banging the hammer on the other end of the siphon?
Look, yeah, I was trying to repair my armor and stuff, but I figured she was making the same noise. I was just sitting over here.
I give
That's
him
funny.
such a mom look.
That's funny. But I mean, come on. What were you doing that for?
Working.
All right.
Strangle this child.
Gosh, you look so
You-
much like Jim from The Office right now with that smile.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Does that make
Yeah.
the Centaur Lady Dwight?
100%.
Yes.
Absolutely, she's
You've
Dwight.
been putting nickels in the
Identity
phone?
theft is no joke, Deo.
Nichols in the phone. The Altoid mint Pavlov's dog. Just wait for the Jello.
Well, he looks over to you, Mara, and he says, this is quite the crew you have.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
I'll say it this
terribly
much,
sorry.
Deo. And Mara, if you're the, I don't know if you're the leader of this. I expect with your skill, capabilities, might so, but I think you should keep your crew in line.
Trust me when I say I'm trying my best.
Maybe you're a better
Hey, man.
gladiator than a leader. And he,
I
mean-
leave and go back to the. You know what? I don't go to the sphere. I literally just unpack my pack and sleep next to the temple.
and he makes his way. I'm sorry for that rude comment. I'm very sorry. I feel
You're
so
totally
bad
fine.
saying it.
Valid as
This
hell.
is so funny to see an angry Dan, even by proxy.
Because here's the thing. First, Mora ain't
Because
in
of the
charge, even though she'd
consequences
like
of
to
our
be.
actions.
And
Gosh.
this is why.
Can I make another investigation check to find out? That's
Sure. We'll say if you fail this time, then your wild shape's gonna end.
Oh,
Oh.
Do you have an inspiration? 'Cause now would be the time to use it.
I don't. I don't think I do.
Wait.
Let the second.
Yes,
just-
you do.
You have
Oh,
an inspiration.
just stall. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
What'd you get?
uh,
What was it? 4 with advantage.
yeah, I rolled a 3 and then a
Oy.
Oh,
So
no.
you
Oh, no.
continue
You're about to ruin
investigating,
things even more.
and
Oh,
as
no.
everybody is starting to go to sleep, you wild shape out. Go ahead and give me a stealth check at disadvantage, if you could be so kind.
I will be kind. I'm very sorry.
And you see that, Dan? Nick's being kind.
It is being kind.
Yeah, Gito.
Stealth. 11.
Okay. You wild shape out, and as you do, you start to leave the tent. Videl rears up, looks over at you, and says, "What are you doing?"
Before you say anything, I'm very sorry to have distracted you from your work. I realize it's something you care about deeply, and I apologize for being rude about that.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion. I'll say with advantage. That was very sincere.
Aw. Aw.
I just pictured waking up and like someone's trying to leave my tent, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck what you say.
Okay, well, the first one was a 13, the second was a nat.
Nice.
Persuasion with
Aw.
persuasion, that is
Oh.
19.
Close it. Close it.
Uh,
Close it. Just close it.
So with a,
It's a
with a
lick
nat
least.
20,
Yeah.
a nat 20
Yeah.
persuasion, you see Videl as she looks and she just says, "So you came to my tent," and that's where she misinterprets. She thinks you came to her tent. You came to my tent to apologize.
Dodged a bullet there, my man.
I was already here. I'm very sorry. I was roped into mischievousness.
You started this shit. I'm hiding.
It's okay,
And-
make me the scapegoat. I've got goat legs.
Before you say anything, I do want to apologize profusely.
Gosh.
It was very wrong of me, and I respect that you care about something very deeply and focus for it. I also have something I need focus for, and it should not have been so brash. And I hope that maybe you can forgive my transgression against your privacy.
You see, she kind of looks around and she looks back at you and she just says, "No one's ever apologized to me before. Except for Cateus." Thank you. Please leave.
Of course. I leave the tent.
Rock and roll.
Are you coming back towards the bubble?
The fire has been put out at this point, I will say.
I
You walk back into range and get like 2 points of psychic damage.
Mimi knows. Mimi knows.
Mimi knows. Mimi knows.
I
Evacuate.
walk out and I want to make my way just a little bit down the steps or the mountain or whatever. I kind of just want to sit down. Yeah, you said there are no trees.
No trees.
I want to look up at the stars and pray to Nylea for forgiveness, or yeah, to just say that I'm sorry for. Well, I apologize to them, but I'm sorry that their hunt for knowledge did by my tomfoolery. I will attempt to be better. I still do not really understand the ways of this world and how people may feel. And I also hope, as a side note, maybe you can help me find my name sooner rather than later, because I miss my family. Though I think I may be finding one.
Go ahead
And I
and
go to bed under the stars.
go ahead and give me a religion check.
uh, 11.
On an 11, you see stories, non-specific, so you don't know like the exact details of the stories you see in the stars above you. But you see Nylea time and time again making mistakes, and I think it dawns on you, whatever your relationship with Nylea, as well as just the other gods in general, it's reflected back to you that these gods are not perfect, and that they are in fact imperfect beings, and often fail and make mistakes, even on such cosmic levels that they attain to. But I think the one symbol that you see that Nylea often retains in these sort of myths being told within the night sky is she grabs another arrow and cocks it back into her bow and continues to fire, showing that sort of perseverance in moving forward. And then, real quick, go ahead and just give me just a quick insight check, if you could be so
Hmm. That would be. Oh, whoa! I did not realize that would be that. Okay. 13.
All you know is that you're at a temple that can tell you the future.
Got it.
Rock and roll. So you all, yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say before Vesi settles for sleep, she's gonna basically like turn her body towards the water because she can't go down to it. And she's gonna kind of be like thinking about that letter that she was given to sacrifice, and she's gonna kind of just be reaching out to the acid, just asking like,
I know it wants you to give up something, but like, does it have to be a letter? They both have a letter, and is giving up what he wants the best option?
like that kind of stuff.
Go ahead and give me a religion check as you look out.
She's basically trying to figure out like, do you have to have like a physical like piece of paper that says, like this could have been what happened, or things like that, or like if you have an object on you that symbolizes something, or she's just trying to figure out things.
Absolutely.
Here's my religion plus 6. That is then a Oh, a dirty 20 because I rolled a 14.
I think you peer out into the Siren Sea as it reflects the night sky itself, and I think Thassa takes advantage of that reflection and often uses the ocean itself to help tell the stories of her own myths within the starry night sky of Nyx. And on a 20 religion check, you see that in those sort of stories, sort of reflected, Thassa often bemoans or tends to disagree and get into conflict with those that don't sort of make a individualistic stance about themselves, right? Thassa is very much true to herself, who she is, and what she believes in. You know, she believes the ocean is her domain. She worships and loves, you know, basically all of the everything that the ocean creates and everything that the ocean does. She can be brash, she can be very wrathful, ill-tempered a lot of the times. But out of the gods, even with her temper, she refuses to back down from that because she knows that that's just who she is and what she strides herself to be, sort of reflection of her, true to herself as always. And I think in that sort of understanding of being true to oneself, trying to find some sort of like loophole against the visage and temple of Kloyths here before you is that I think you find that Thassa's a firm believer of one's own choice and one's own decision in the matter. And I think in this instance, you would glean that Thassa would probably say, if she could speak to you, she'd probably say that Tior made his choice. This is the future he's giving up on in order to obtain a glimpse into the future that he wants. And that's what this temple is, essentially. It's a give and take. You give up one in hopes for the other. It's not even definitive because the future is still ever unchanging.
Mm-hmm.
Before Mimi goes to bed, like as I'm not sleeping in the bubble, I like kind of found a little spot by myself. And I want to just pray to Karametra, and I want to apologize, just about, you know, pretty much just, you're a goddess of community, and every community needs a leader. I don't know if that's my designated role, but if it was today, I failed. Someone got hurt because I couldn't properly lead my people. I don't know if I'm cut out to be a leader. And I want to apologize, because even people outside of your own community, like our own little found family here, are important and they should be treated with respect. Someone felt disrespected today and I didn't stop it. I hope that if I am meant to be a leader, you will guide me on that path. And if not, you will help me be a follower that a leader would desire. Please help me heal the community.
Go ahead and give me a religion check.
That was a noise.
Yeah, that was a thunder.
My danglies got a 19. I don't know if you can see it on there. Plus 1. So dirty 20 again.
Dirty 20. As you pray to Karametra, you look up within the night
Karametra herself has deemed herself mother of all lost children. Any orphans, any one who lose their parental figures. Karametra has claimed herself as the mother for them.
Party mom god.
And as you look up into the sky, you see this sort of story that sort of unfolds. And it was like the first sort of like when Setessa was first being created, founded. And there were swaths and swaths of children that had flocked to Setessa because it was marked as a safe haven for those who were lost in some way. And the story basically describes in detail about how when they first created Setessa, they did not anticipate the influx of people that came in. And as a result of that, they were not prepared for the harvest. And so, this community and these leaders of this community had, and the story kind of tells, as you have done in this instance, almost replicating a sort of harping on yourself and taking on that extra amount of self-inflicted criticism as they did. And Karametra looked to all of them and saw that their hearts were good, their intentions were right, and their goals were true. And so she blessed them with a bountiful harvest that season and gave them the tools to fix it. And as the story unfolds, you also see the rapid sort of changing of the seasons itself, and that sort of waxing and waning on how it goes. Not every harvest is going to work, and not every plant shall grow. But a new season dawns, another time arises, spring comes again, and you replant it, you try again, and you continue to do it. But I think in the story, it does dawn on you that sort of reflectiveness of self-inflicted criticism that overloaded those leaders that now overloads you.
She'll sit with that for a bit. And I'll probably wait until everyone's kind of asleep. But then I'll head back into the sphere. Because my place is with my party.
Epixie, just since everyone is doing a small thing before bed, this is going to be fast. She pulls out her ink stained paper and goes,
I love my new friends. They're crazy. I bet we're gonna stick together forever. You're gonna love them once they all join you.
The ink disappears, and it writes back to you. It says, "And what a glorious day it will be once I am able to see all of you and be free."
I can't wait for that day.
and I do a little heart, and then I draw a picture of me holding hands with a giant piece of paper with a smiley face on it, holding my hand.
I love that.
That sort of fades away. And you just see the words written out. It just says, "Me too."
Aw.
Good night. Talk to you later.
And I'll fold it up. And I'll
Pixie's
go to bed.
100% that person that just keeps texting after saying goodbye.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
rock and roll. So, you all head to sleep. You take a long rest. You awake the next morning. Everybody sort of gears up. You see Videl heads back to the spire and continues working on that. Everybody else is sort of just waking up and sort of gearing up. Cateus, you see as he walks over to all of you, waiting for the sun to sort of like rise, as he sort of like waves at the sphere to everybody who's inside.
I just picture we're all passed out, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I, before, like, you know, the sun is risen and stuff, because I'm assuming that, like, God, you just said her name,
Videl?
Videl.
Yeah, Videl, like, I'm assuming she gets to work pretty early.
Yeah.
Can I get up, like, early and just, like, make my way toward her? Like, leaving a lot of distance. Hey, I know you're working. I'm not meaning to interrupt. But I want to apologize. The way you were treated yesterday was not how anyone should be treated.
She pauses for a moment with her work. She just says, "It's fine. Your friend apologized last night."
Okay.
I'm sorry. I can be rude.
Everyone's a little different as far as how they handle social situations. I mean, I know my friends can be a lot. I love them to bits. We're an intense group, and you may have felt pushed into a corner. So.
I just like building things.
I understand that. And I'll kind of take a look at the spire. Does it look like it's getting closer to done? Like, I know she probably didn't make a ton of progress yesterday.
It seems like she has the finishing touches on it.
I'm not gonna lie and act like I know exactly what this is, but you seem like you do excellent work. And before she can even say anything, I'm just gonna leave.
Rocky, do you all sort of like exit the sphere as everybody's like getting up and everything?
Yeah, Vesi's gonna be standing by the door, waiting for the instant that it opens, even a crack to like let her get in. So
as you stand by, you see Cateus, and he walks over next to you and he just says, "What are you? You said you're sacrificing something?" Not a morning person.
She does that like deliberate cat thing, like where the cat gets up and like with its butt only walks a few steps and turns its back to you.
Yeah.
She hasn't had her coffee. Don't talk to her.
I wanted to ask, how long have you known Solstice?
Like looking just like.
I love Vesi.
A while. She seems well versed. I've never seen somebody in such a resplendent clothing before.
The best. Did you say anything else about her? If you try to do anything to her, I'll rip your head off.
Listen. I just wanted to.
And not
get to
the
know
one
her
on your
more.
neck.
Sorry.
From somewhere in the distance, you just hear Deo. No.
Bailiff, whack his pee-pee.
Rock and roll. Deo,
Moving on.
Yeah.
as you're getting up, you see Thiegus as he sort of like walks up to you for a moment.
Whoa. Hi.
Hi. He's still covered in shawls, so you don't know what his face looks like.
Viegas. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool.
You.
Deo. I like your getup.
Thanks. Always had it with me. It's my special blanket.
Oh,
He's
nice.
got a night-night.
Hey, like, don't tell anybody, but I'll gesture to the little piece of yellow fabric that hangs off the edge of my pauldron. It's an old piece of...
Cool.
Yeah.
You want to hold my blanket?
Yeah. Is it
Alright.
gonna kill me or something?
No.
Yeah.
He sort of like unshawls it, and you see this sort of gray skin and this like huge resplendent gold mask that has like a half smile on
Whoa!
his face, and a half scared face.
Wow.
Whoa.
He's a theater kid.
Dude. Even sicker getup.
Nice.
What's that for?
Hmm?
What's that for?
Oh, it's my mask.
Just wear it like for fun, or is it like a god thing, or?
Well, I mean, like the Thegus who died, and then the Thegus who took the path of Phenax in order to become a returned, wrote some stuff in the mask on like how to like move around in the shadows and stuff like that. And so now me, Thegus, I've kind of just used that as like a way for me to, just like remember, I'm a returned. It's
A what?
returned. My not me, but like a version of me went to the path of Phenax and wanted my new me to cross over back into Theros to steal some shit.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's tight. What did you have to steal?
Well, the first thing I had to steal was this blanket back because they had like kept it in the family's like lockbox, and so I had to get that back. They were none too happy to see their like dead son back in a way, so that was a whole thing.
But it wasn't your mom and dad.
Well, I mean, like technically it is, but at the same time it's not, because like when you're returned, it's like your soul gets left behind, but then your body makes a new soul, and that is like the returned.
Yeah, like
That's-
the new
that's
skull.
me,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
Just
Why'd you need the
spilling
blanket
all-
so bad?
Hmm?
Why'd you need the blanket so bad?
That's what was written in the mask.
Oh, alright.
He's kind of cool.
And do you just wear it for fun? Or do you just get sunburn really easily? Or
I just wear it for fun.
nice.
There's
Bet a lot of
pictures.
people
This is how
don't
he
bother
cheats
you
on
under there.
tests.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I think it's, pretty cool. I think cause it kind of like shows you around and stuff like that. And says, I think it's pretty neat.
Wait, it what?
Like you could like he's just kind of like he just shows you the blanket like a bunch.
Oh,
Sort of, like
okay.
extends it out, moves it around. Up and
Whoa,
around, waves
wow.
around.
What's it look like?
It's kind of just like this old sort of like gray. It looks like it once was like, you think that it once was blue, but it has since faded to like this sort of like light gray that has since now been created. Dave, can you go ahead and give me a perception check if you could be so kind?
Ooh.
And I will tell
Yeah.
you, I will cut all of
Uh-oh.
my RP short
Perception.
by giving the cold shoulder if we get more blanket guys.
Oh no, that's a
Great, I
natural
love
one.
That's a natural one.
Natural one. I love this
Ow.
blanket.
The blanket's a mimic.
So he's like, yeah, so it's pretty cool because it's like you could like extend it out like this, and you could like, and he's kind of like he like briefly sort of like wraps it over you for a moment, and it's sort of like
those dudes right there, and then you could like wear
Yeah.
like a scarf and kind of like wraps it around so you can wear it like a scarf. You can even
Yeah.
like put it like around like your waist and stuff like that. That way it like keeps you like warm and stuff like that. It's
You ever
pretty
worn it
neat.
like a toga?
Yeah, many times. It's kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love this
Hey.
man.
Hey,
Love
I
him.
wanted to ask, what does fish
Yeah?
taste like to you?
Fish?
Yeah.
Sorry, there was
Yeah,
a part
Crash,
of
what
my
does fish
brain.
taste like?
There was a part of my brain that shut down as soon as I realized what you had asked. Out of character. Huh. Like just the taste of fish?
Yeah, like what does it taste like to you? Because I can't taste anything anymore. So
Oh shit. Well, it just kind of tastes like salty, a little sour.
sour. Okay.
Yeah, like salty and sour. A lot of people don't like the whole salt thing, but
Interesting.
I
Okay.
think it's awesome.
He pulls out a little piece of paper. On it, it reads like sweet underlined, and then salt underlined, sour underlined, and then spicy underlined. He puts a check mark under salt, and then he puts another check mark under sour. There's multiple check marks under salt, and not as much under sour, but there's a lot under salt. And there's one under spicy.
Oh my god.
Can't you taste anything anymore?
I'm returned. I'm basically dead.
Oh well, I didn't know that.
Well, I'm sorry. When I tell people return, that's usually like it's kind of like the go-to. It's like
Yeah, I don't do dead things normally. I mean, you seem rad, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know a lot about the dead or the guy who does the dead.
You know, I never really looked into it either. Like, you know, I know the basics, but yeah. Anyway, so we cut from that conversation.
I want to know.
No,
We
No,
can
we're
go. Yeah, we
not.
can go
Camera
later.
right
This
back.
is fine.
I love him.
It's just nice. God, I wish I
Uh,
had a blanket right now.
So
I
as
don't have a blanket, but I have a tiny fluff.
so as the sun is just starting to come up, you
Yeah,
see
that'll work.
Mateus, as he looks over at you, Vesi, he just says, "Do you mind if I can go first? I mean, to be fair, we were here before you all were, so."
Just a question from the night before. Solstice didn't share any of the things that she heard, right? Just ask Nick.
Oh, that's an
No.
excellent question.
No,
Ooh.
I'm still asleep.
You didn't tell us any of
Ah.
the things that you heard.
Because Solstice didn't sleep in the bubble.
No,
Right?
I went
Yeah.
down to the bottom
Yeah,
of the
I'm just
thing.
making sure of that. She's gonna kind of, even though she doesn't know the conversation, she's gonna kind of stand in front of the door and just like do that thing, like with the arm, like with a hand, like leaning on the wall, and just like,
I mean, you waited all night and could wait 5 more minutes.
That's the spirit.
Solstice
Yes.
comes back up and says, "They were here first. We weren't very nice yesterday, so nicer today."
Hey, you know, no harm, no foul. That's all good. It's all fun and games, you know. All right. My future awaits. As the sun starts to come up and the light pierces through. As soon as the light hits the sort of golden walls, it sort of dissolves away. Sort of almost like the golden light itself along the walls is unraveling itself like yarn that unravels. And it fades away. As you walk inside, you can see inside the temple, the roof sort of displays the symbol of Kloyths, which is that drop spindle with threads swirling around it. And then below, there appears to be these two like giant, these two sort of like poles, and then threaded across on either side, almost as if string has been wrapped around hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of times, is these two golden strands of what looks like rope, but as you watch as Cateus, as he sort of like glides his hands across, sort of glistens of golden sparks basically like fleck off of the strands of string as he runs his hands across, and as he says, "It's just like air, wild."
So you resist the urge to make it rain in here to be like, it's like water, wild. But she doesn't do that.
And as you can see, there is written around the base of it is text, and it is written as reads, simply as it says, sacrifice your future to gaze into another. And as he sort of like looks at the text, he smiles, takes out this little letter, and he says, "Sorry, Takesha. I'm acro through and sorry, Milites. I'm acro through and through." And he sort of like places the letter along the strands, and as he does so, he sort of like glides it across. And as he does, the gold specks light on, and he looks at it and goes, "Sacrifice my future. Gaze into another." And as the golden flecks are attached onto this letter, they expand brighter and brighter as this golden light envelops the entire thing. And in a burst of sort of radiant golden light, it filters up. And this sort of like, I will say it's also like gold and like slightly red, as you see just like on the tinged outside of it. So it's not completely gold because that belongs to Helioid, but it is sort of like this goldish reddish light that is created. And the letter just sort of basically just dissolves in his hand. And you watch as the strands along begin spinning around the two poles. They begin just sort of like slowly moving at first, until eventually it starts rapidly moving. And they all aren't moving at the same time. You see some strands are going this way, some strands are going that way, and they're all sort of like moving simultaneously around one another, until eventually, flattened up, you see an image starts to appear. And as the image appears, you see he looks at it and he says, "Show me my life. Aged old man, what glory does it look like?" He watches and he looks.
Brother.
And he sees
This
this
guy
I'm
image.
so cool.
This image.
It's really cool, Dan. Keep going. I'm sorry.
For wanting a good life.
You watch as it pulls through, as the image starts to appear more and more, and you see this nice sort of Acros house, with a nice small little garden out front, and you just see this sort of older version of Cateus, sort of sitting in a chair, looking out, drinking some wine. That image stays on there for a couple of minutes, and it slowly goes away. You see Cateus as he looks. Doesn't say anything, he just keeps staring out for a moment. Looks over at all of you and then the other soldiers. That's it. That looked like a one-bedroom house. I don't. You all saw that, right? He's sort of looking at the other soldiers and looks at all of you. He says, "You all saw that, right?"
Yes.
You seem nice.
What?
It's nice, quaint, sure, but nice. No, nice would be a manor home next to the palace, or a suitor to Queen Siamede. That was not nice. That was.
Happiness
That's
does not
good.
have
Order
to
to
be measured by wealth or
What's this guy
power.
think he is?
You
And
know,
then that's your own problem.
you know,
Took your turn now. Move out of the way.
yeah. Just,
I'll put a hand on Vesi and be like, yeah, give him a minute.
I
What you hear coming from her is just like angry.
I didn't sacrifice much in my life. I didn't work as damn hard to only end up with a single room house out on the main street. I have worked my ass off, and I expect results. He sort of looks at the strands, says, "Those are not results." It's fine. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Vidal, we're doing plan B. And he walks over. You see Vidal. She nods her head. She says, "All right."
He
And
walks by, can I punch him?
how exactly?
This session,
do
we
you
just
punch
all
Um,
chose violence.
Basically, just like straight right in the face, just like, and while she's doing that, like while he's coming up, she's just going like,
It's a
"Not the
haymaker?
god." Yeah, it's basically she's just going like, "It's not the goddess's fault that you didn't get what you want. It's your own," and it's just gonna smack him in the
Ooh.
face.
Go ahead and give me an attack roll if you could be so kind.
Oh, and that I don't know where that one went. Okay, we lost it.
I
Split.
didn't say this before, but did we all enter the temple?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. During this vision he's having, can I have been stepping back towards the entrance to
Oh.
what happened?
Entrance. Are you okay?
Continue.
You didn't swallow the die, did you?
Tyler, we talked about that.
Can't eat them.
Can't eat the dice.
They do make
look
one
delicious.
can though.
Without me.
Yeah, Solstice, you can make your way towards the entrance of the temple.
Okay, I'm gonna try to back away a little quietly outside to where the siphon is.
Okay. Cool,
Um,
cool.
Made that noise because I used my inspiration from Wild Card and I got a natural 20.
And that's an attack roll.
Go ahead and roll your I think it would be I don't think you have
It
any
would be
I
an
think,
unarmed.
I think it's just your strength mod, but just double that number.
Strength mod is 4.
So 8.
Yeah.
4?
Yeah.
How are you so buff?
Mine's 5.
What?
Mine is -1.
Mine
so
was
you-
high.
So you straight up sock him in the face, and then what do you say to him? You said it's not the god's fault.
Yeah, basically it was just her going like, "It's not the god's fault you didn't get what you want, it's your own."
As you like socked him, he sort of says, "Ah, that was quite the hook you got there. Ah, turn it on, Vidal." And as he does that, you see Vidal as she brings her goes through her hands. You see her hammer. She holds it tight. It again lights with that flame. An ember hits onto the siphon. She looks out at you, Solstice, for a moment. She just looks at you. She breathes in. Holds her hand tighter as the ember hits the siphon. You watch as the spider legs reach out
out from the siphon, and they immediately shoot straight down into Kloyths' back, essentially. And once that happens, you all feel this sort of rumbling that occurs, and you all
called it.
You all see this like huge like white cloud appears to form above all of you for a second, and this arc of reddish lightning shoots out, and it was heading straight towards I forgot his name.
Sangria.
Sangria.
It heads towards
Sega Genesis.
Heads towards Cateus, and as you watch as the red lightning, as the top of the spire like lights up, and the lightning starts shooting towards the spire, and all of the red lightning starts centralizing on that spire.
Okay, I am going to... Oof. Yikes.
What do you do?
I'm going to look at Vidal, and I'm going to... Vidal, I know that you have a good heart. This is not the way. This is not natural. This is not good.
As you're saying that, you see Cateus, he says, I think you're done talking to her. Let her work and let her do her job.
I grab him around the neck and start choking him out.
You go ahead and give me a grapple check.
You mean do him the honor?
Yeah.
Epixie just like quietly to herself is like,
I knew it. I knew it.
Grapple was just a normal strength added to it, right?
Yeah, you could use, I think your athletics if you wanted to.
Athletics? Let me see. That's the same thing. So, 23. Rolled a 19.
He's gonna burn through one of his legendary resistances to snake his way out, and as he does so, he sort of turns and looks at you for a second. He says, the first one I let slide. If you attack me again, then you're attacking the entire battalion of the armor of Argus.
What the fuck, man?
Oh, the entire battalion of the
This is Acros against Acros. What the hell are you doing?
Calm down. We're not gonna kill the dragon turtle. We're just gonna take some of its innate storm power and use that.
I'm gonna look at the other soldiers, and I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna pound the chest plate and say, and you're all okay with this? Who the fuck are you?
Give me an intimidation check.
Oh, I wasn't trying to, but okay!
Can I try to Mufasa this shit and stand behind him?
I'm gonna
Like
grab,
to give him
I'm gonna grab
advantage.
his leg and give him a
Simba.
guidance.
We're like, you know the scene where someone like roars at the hyenas and is like,
Intimidation? I have a +0, but I rolled a 19.
oh,
Rolled a 19. Mimi's giving you advantage right now if you'd like.
Oh, come on. This would be
Not
so
20.
cool
Let's-
and
I'm just
sexy.
posturing behind him.
Oh boy.
It was a 13. It's okay,
No
though.
worries, 19's good. You see all
I'm
the
looking
soldiers.
at the Minotaur being like, I kicked your ass once.
You see the soldiers as they.
You want
they're
to
kind
speak
of
it
like
again?
they're like looking at Deo, and then they look back to Cateus, and Cateus says, "Soldiers, arm yourselves. If they attack, strike back." And you see they all sort of like look standing, and they just sort of ready their weapons.
I'm gonna look to Cateus, and I'm gonna unsheath my own sword. You were never in my mom's eyes. And now I know why. Fuck you.
You're drawing your sword in me. You're drawing your sword in me?
If you think that this is a Crowan against a Crowan, then try it.
He sort of gets his shield, unsheaths his spear,
and sort of lays his shield is not a complete shield. It has like the circles that go the half moon circles. He lays his spear on top of that, and he says, "Ready yourself, Diogenes
I'm gonna
Nikitas."
Thumbs down, whatever your name is, Argus. And I'm gonna bang my sword against the buckler.
And that is where we are going to leave it off for tonight's session.
Knew it.
I called it. Ah! I told you guys the whole time. They were doing something bad with that siphon.
Take back everything I said about a sea witch being a bad omen. What the hell?
Oh, I'm so glad we messed with the
Dude, I was gonna be glad either way. I was waiting for the
I
other
had no
shield
regrets.
to
Mad
drop.
afterwards, but I really should have come to you guys with that plan B. I completely forgot.
It's okay. It
All right.
happened, and honestly, that was hilarious.
Well, thank you all so much for joining into our Misty Mountain streaming. I hope you all had a fantastic time. Tune in next week to see our heroes battle on top of a dragon turtle.
Baby.
Watch me beat up a minotaur twice.
Truly.
First we were
Wanna
in a
see me
kraken,
do
now
it
we're on the
again?
dragon turtle.
Deo and I double teamed this man.
Yeah, get ready to see me get impaled again.
So thank you all so much. Tune in this week for more D&D streams. We got Wild Beyond the Witchlight tomorrow.
Good morning,
Search for the Spell-
Witchlight.
Good morning, Feywild.
We have the Search for the Spell Forge on Thursday. We always have Two Nerds Play. Sometimes have Two Nerds Play on Fridays, so be on the lookout for that and keep posted on the Discord and all of that. Thank you all so much for being here. And if nobody has said it to you yet, we just want to say we love you all, and we hope you all have an amazing rest of your night. Goodbye. See you next time.
Guys, if you have Taylor
For a
Swift tickets,
battle.
sell them to me.
For a battle on top of a dragon turtle.
Or if you know who runs Ticketmaster, go get them.
Ooh.